Great vibes on 10. The Truth Seeker and
Yeah, you know what time it is. Turn it up.
Great vibes. Great vibes.
Great vibes on 10.
Great vibes.
Great vibes. Walk in the room and the energy changes. Big personality, never basic. Confidence high, always bringing the fun. When he shows up, the party's begun. Mr. Clean Shining, yeah, you know the name. Bald head glowing like a Hall of Fame. He rolls his eyes every time that we say it, but deep down inside, we know he'll never trade it. Rub that shiny dome, make a wish, that's a scene. Everybody laughing, what's up, Mr. Clean? They call him a genie, yeah, that's routine. One little rub and you live in the dream. Then out of nowhere, surprise disguise. 2P comes out and the whole room cries. New look loading, what's next today? You never know what he's gonna display. 3 different headphones, always prepared. Different vibes for every moment shared. Music, research, or something brand new. He's got a setup for whatever he'll do.
Great vibes on 10.
Let the whole world know. Bring that energy everywhere we'll go.
Great vibes on 10.
Turn it up again. That's the kind of vibe you can't pretend.
Great vibes on 10.
Say it loud, say it proud. Bring it to and bring the crowd.
Vibes on 10.
From beginning to end, hit that replay, run it again. Always got questions, always digging deep. Looking for answers that others might keep. Not just the headlines, not just the noise. Searching for facts with a curious voice. Kicking the dots, putting pieces in place. Taking the time to examine the case. Facts on the table, questions in sight. Searching for truth from morning to night. Got great researchers helping along the way. Bringing information into the light every day. Doing the work, taking the time. Looking for answers and following the signs. And everybody knows when that moment arrives. The room gets quiet, everybody revives. You hear that voice, you know what's coming through. The phrase that nobody else can do. I know you fucking lie. Stretched out with style, the way where surprise disguise. 2P comes out and the whole room cries. New look loading, what's next today? You never know what he's gonna display. 3 different headphones, always prepared. Different vibes for every moment shared. Music, research, or something brand new. He's got a setup for whatever he'll do.
Great vibes on 10.
Let the whole world know. Bring that energy everywhere we'll go.
Great vibes on 10.
Turn it up again. That's the kind of vibe you can't pretend.
Great vibes on 10.
Say it loud, say it proud. Bring it to and bring the crowd.
Vibes on 10.
From beginning to end, hit that replay, run it again. Always got questions, always digging deep. Looking for answers that others might keep. Not just the headlines, not just the noise. Searching for facts with a curious voice. Kicking the dots, putting pieces in place. Taking the time to examine the case. Facts on the table, questions in sight. Searching for truth from morning to night. Got great researchers helping along the way. Bringing information into the light every day. Doing the work, taking the time. Looking for answers and following the signs. And everybody knows when that moment arrives. The room gets quiet, everybody revives. You hear that voice, you know what's coming through. The phrase that nobody else can do. I know you fucking lie. Stretched out with style, the way he says it makes everybody smile. Can't copy the sound, can't copy the tone. That's a signature, that's all his own. Who brings the vibes?
Great vibes.
Paid first. What number?
Great vibes.
10. Who wants the truth?
Way through.
Turn it up.
Great vibes. Great vibes on 10.
Let the whole world know. Truth, laughs, and energy everywhere we go.
Great vibes on 10.
We're here to win. Bring the questions and dive right in. From the shiny head to the headphone stack, from the facts to research to the phone we bring back.
Great vibes on 10.
Oh, forever our friends. Turn it up loud. And tonight, got great researchers helping along the way. Bringing information into the light every day. Doing the work, taking the time. Looking for answers and following the signs. And everybody knows when that moment arrives. The room gets quiet, everybody revives. You hear that voice, you know what's coming through. The phrase that nobody else can do. I know you fucking lie. Stretched out with style, the way he says it makes everybody smile. Can't copy the sound, can't copy the tone. That's a signature, that's all his own. Who brings the vibes?
Great vibes.
Paid first. What number?
Great vibes.
10. Who wants the truth?
Way through.
All right, there it is. All right, y'all. Listen, what's going on, y'all? Good. Happy Saturday, Saturday evening. Good to see y'all coming in. This ugly ass shit. Thank you all for joining me on tonight. Um, okay, so why do it say 15? Thank y'all so much for joining me on tonight. Good to see everybody coming in, man. I really appreciate it. Um, so it's the yeah, okay. So it's that. See, I don't know until I go live. All right, so listen, y'all. Like I said, it's good to see y'all here tonight. I hope everyone had a great day. Um, I hope that y'all were able to enjoy your Saturdays and um, spend time with the family, spend time with friends, spend time with your children. But again, hey, it's Saturday. It feels good outside for a lot of people. So it says it's OBS and TikTok Live that's throwing up the GPU engine. Okay. Um, video encode. That's what it is. So again, listen, sorry y'all reading something. Good to see everybody. Who we got coming in? Who we got coming? Damn, Queen Girls, thank you so much for sharing the live stream out. I see Yvonne is coming in strong. Queen Girls is coming in strong. Queen Momo is coming in strong, and everybody that hit the share button, that gave their daily heartbeat. I see y'all cutting up on YouTube already. Logic, good to see you in the building. If you're watching on Rumble, welcome in. If you're watching on Twitch, welcome in. Again, y'all, thank y'all so much for coming. Coming here on tonight. Y'all already throwing wet stuff in the chat. Okay, cool. Listen, moderators, thank y'all so much for showing up tonight. Melly Mel, thank you for the love. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, one of these programs is going to have to give. Somebody's going to have to give. Listen. Um, 4 days in a row, this platform on TikTok was able to hit over 1 million likes 4 days in a row. Over 1 million taps 4 days in a row. Y'all should be proud of yourselves. That's a first for this platform. I really thank y'all so much for representing this platform. Thank y'all for respecting this platform. And also thank y'all for making Great Vibes on 10 your new home. Y'all know this platform allows people to be themselves. This platform allows people to speak their minds. Um, is family oriented over here. Sometimes we argue, sometimes we fight, but for about 98% of the time, we good. This is why you have people, their job is to come over and start trouble. Their job is to start drama, and we do not want to engage in that. All right. Also, something that was brought to my attention. If y'all see somebody in a chat and y'all telling the mods, hey, mod, block this person, y'all spamming the chat because people disagree with us, don't do that. Don't do that. You want people to disagree with you. You want people to disagree with you because it forces you to do more homework. Why are they saying what they're saying? So guess what? Go look it up. All right. That's if they're telling the truth. But do not spam the chat telling the moderators they need to block somebody. Now, if somebody's in the chat completely disrespecting people, calling people out of their names, different things like that, the mods they're going to see it and they're going to mute them. But do not tell the moderators how to do their job because we all the moderators including myself is being trained. I mean, we still training ourselves on this social media platform. Oh, y'all, we got a lot to cover tonight. Again, welcome in. If you see that follow button at the top of your screen on TikTok, please click that follow button, and also get your daily heartbeat. Also, if you're on YouTube and other channels, if you haven't liked the platform, go ahead and do that. Follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and go ahead and share the platform out. All right. Now, this story that we've been covering the past week and a half, um, it's a lot of twists and turns. It's a lot of people, they're out here covering this story. You got a lot of people that's putting out misinformation. You got people that's covering this story. If you come up on their panel, challenging them on their decision, because you have people, they already have their mind made up. They know exactly what happened to Nolan Wells. It's like people want to put out these narratives for clickbaits, and they don't have much information. Brandon Tatum, a few days ago, we played one of his videos, and he was responding to the video, and we were listening to a video that was made through AI, and he was responding to the video. That told me a few other things about him. Okay, if you look at the thumbnail, you're going to see a picture of a gentleman all the way at the top left hand corner. You're going to see Officer Tatum. You're going to see one of the friends' mother, the judge, and also you're going to see Nolan Wells. And then at the bottom you see first arrest made. Right under that you're going to see Tatum said allegedly Nolan was using rugs while he was out there on that island. And he's pushing that narrative, not looking out for Nolan, trying to figure out what happened to Nolan. Tatum is out here on the internet. I'm going to play the video. So again, thanks to the moderators, I had to back up. Let's go backwards. Who the fuck is Officer Tatum? What is his mission here? What is his goal? Because even until this day, I'm still trying to figure out his his angle. Like, what are you doing here? What was the reason you went out there? You went out there to Mississippi to try to clear these boys' name. I'm going to show y'all something. While I bring, listen, y'all, keep tapping the screen while I bring this up. It's going to be here. I'm going to show y'all something. Now, when I play this, I'm not going to say much. I'm going to allow y'all to observe him. All right. Okay, I think this is it. hold on, no. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I literally, I just had it. Okay. All right. I'm finna show y'all something. So Officer Tatum, you know what? Before I show that, I need to find this I need to find this video. I hate when those files is being sent is sent like that. Can't do what I need to do. All right. I don't want. Okay, so I thought a video was attached to that. Um, Let me say this right here, and we're going to talk about it on tomorrow. Um, because I'm still learning about Tatum. He's connected to some people. Um, all I'm gonna say is allegedly he's connected to some people, and I understand that background. So, I want to make sure I bring the video up before I speak on that. Now, in the thumbnail, y'all see that um, arrests has been made, right? Have been made um, pertaining to this Nolan Wells um, case that a lot of us are covering. All right, I want y'all to look at this. Let's see if I can cut this up.
Of Nolan Wells, but not how you may be thinking. At least two people now charged with making threats against those connected to the case. One threat promising, quote, blood everywhere. 18-year-old Nolan Wells disappeared on July 4th. This was after traveling with friends by boat to a Gulf Coast island. His body was found 2 days later. His family demanding answers. Joining us now with the very latest, Courtney Friel. And Courtney, I know you're in California where one of these arrests took place.
Yeah, and Kelly, at this point, we don't have a picture or mugshot to show you of Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars, but the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office confirms he is in custody there on federal hold with no bail. The U.S. Justice Department, is charging him with threatening to kill a judge in Mississippi who happens to be the stepmother of one of Nolan Wells's friends who was with him the day he disappeared. The threat was sent to Judge Ashley Cole, who sits on the bench in Jackson County, Mississippi. Federal investigators traced the very violent threat that was sent to Cole's Facebook Messenger account, which read, quote, there will be a package coming to your guy's office. It's going to blow you away when you see it. Probably best to have the boys there to see it as well. Blood, so much blood everywhere, hard to clean, especially from a boat. But yours will be quick, I promise. I got all your info. Not even the FBI can stop this. And then when you open it, you have maybe 10 seconds or less to ask God forgiveness. Other messages reportedly threaten to strangle the judge's additional.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there because she's saying a lot. Let me put this memo out. Y'all stop getting on the internet acting a damn fool. I know this Nolan Wells case is very sensitive to a lot of people. But if this is true, and this is what they're charging him for, the internet is forever. Okay, the internet is forever. Be careful what you say and also what you post on the internet. All right, let's continue. Oh, hold on.
Back to Sacramento to the email address of Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Demars and say he also made phone calls to the judge's county court office the same day. So, what is the connection between the stepmother of a dead teenager's friend and a 27-year-old man in Sacramento who's also on California's sex offender registry? Investigators don't know that yet, or at least they're not saying. The suspect, Demars, is charged with interstate transmission of a threatening communication, which carries a potential of 5 years in prison. And then, Kelly, just today, we're following reports of another person arrested, possibly in connection to this investigation on similar charges. Take a look at this woman, Michelle Francine Edwards, who lives in Cincinnati, Ohio, also charged this weekend with phoning in bomb threats to 2 Mississippi government offices in the days following Nolan Wells' death. Police are investigating this as yet another person, one of Wells' friends.
What the hell? What the hell is y'all doing? What y'all out there doing? This don't nobody request to come up. What the hell is y'all out there doing? Let me tell y'all something. And this is just a I may be talking off the top of my head. I smell something in the water. Something ain't smelling right here. I don't know what it is, but something is sounding real fishy here. Two y'all, listen, y'all, 2 arrests. But none of these arrests is due to the investigation of Nolan Wells to figure out what the fuck happened to him. These are threats, right, that was made against one of the friends' mother that's a sitting judge. So the other day, whoever was up here on this panel that poked their chest out and said his friend's mother was not a sitting judge. This woman is a sitting judge. She's a sitting judge. Again, I tell y'all, stop saying shit if you can't bag it up. Stop coming up on this panel. Stop going up on other people's panels just saying shit. Because you just want to be heard. You want somebody, you trying to engage into a conversation, but the bullshit that's coming out of your mouth is false. And what I do is I just let you keep on talking. Let's continue. 2 arrests made that, but no detainment or none of that. Okay. Something is not smelling right here. Something ain't smelling right.
He's been getting death threats from people who believe he is linked to the teenager's disappearance and death. That friend's attorney told News Nation that he blames the unchecked nature of social media.
I think the second part of the tragedy, though, really is how America responds to these stories. Because social media feeds into this, there is no evidence to date that foul play led to the death of Nolan Wells. But there are an awful lot of people that are assuming that the people who love Nolan, that considered him their friends, are culpable in his death.
Law enforcement officials.
Okay, hold on, thick neck. Do you understand people get underlived every single day? Okay. Do you realize people that's in a relationship, they will unalive their partner? People that's friends, they will. Do you know most of your ERDA cases, most of them, most of your ERDA cases stems from people that knew each other, that was close with one another. Most of them, not all, most of them. That person knew the other person. That person was in some type of relationship, whether it was a friendship, a romantic ship. They knew each other. So for you to make that statement, thick neck, that's not. I'm not saying these boys are guilty, but it happens a lot. All right.
Mississippi say they have no evidence of foul play in the July 4th death of Nolan Wells. Their initial conclusion was that he drowned, but Nolan's family is pleading for any information about his death, saying they won't rest until they have answers, Kelly.
Yeah, and Courtney, speaking of answers, there have been 2 autopsies now conducted on Wells.
Okay, we're not going to dive into that. So y'all see 2 arrests have been made. But these arrests is people allegedly making threats towards the one of the friends of Nolan Wells, which is a sitting judge, and the other one was against government officials, which is that black woman. All right.
Put your mouth around it. Put your mouth around it.
Randy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And again, moderators, welcome in. Randy, thank you again. Thank you for the fan cat, the woolly hat, and also the put your mouth. Thank you so much. Now, which leads y'all. One thing I do know is y'all, people will create smoke screens. They won't, and again, I could be wrong. They want us to open up, to start talking about this. The persons that were arrested making threats towards the judge and also government officials. They want the story pulled off on Nolan Wells, and they want to redirect our attention, and it's not going to happen. Now, a few moments ago, I told y'all, allegedly, what's his name, Officer Tatum. I really think he have an agenda, and it's a lot deeper. Okay, so y'all know he did an interview with these gentlemen, right? These boys that was they claim to be friends of Nolan Wells, close friends, best friends. Tatum's job, like he said, was to go out there to get them boys a voice and also to clear their name. Miss V, thank you so much. That's beautiful. I want y'all to listen to this. Remember I told y'all well, we watched Tatum. Y'all forgive me if I've seen being a little bit slow tonight. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to make sure I think about what I say. Tatum. That's all I can say. I'm gonna play this video clip, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about it. Okay. Nope, not yet, not yet with that. I'm gonna play this. Now I want y'all to pay close attention to what is going on here, because it's something else I'm gonna drop right after this video. Y'all pay attention to this video.
Anything that stands out about the autopsy produced by the state that we know of, or at least the preliminary findings of that, and also the secondary autopsy that was conducted or paid for by the family, is there anything that stands out to you that is suspicious? All right, ladies and gentlemen, another incredible interview. I wanted to interview a medical examiner so that we can get some clarity on the autopsy. Obviously, preliminarily, we have the autopsy that was conducted by the state, and then we have the secondary autopsy that the family ordered. And I'm still confused about how this all is playing out. I don't know what is typical, what's not typical, what is suspicious. Is there anything suspicious? So I wanted to have a gentleman on that I think has an incredibly balanced perspective on this. His name is Dr. Kendall Crowns.
But the black lady came and told you all of her credentials, and you talked about her. You talked bad about that black woman. Tatum, brother, we see you. We see you. We see you. I see you.
He's the chief medical examiner in Tarrant County. For those of you who follow me know I was born and raised in Fort Worth, and my whole family live in Tarrant County. So it's kind of good to have a person from my hometown on the show. So help me welcome to the show, Dr. Crowns. Dr. Crowns, welcome.
Thank you.
Y'all pay attention
nice
to this.
And so I just want to get to the...
Oh, okay. No, you don't. Let me just stop your lie before you even get started with your lie. Listen, everybody, if you're new, y'all listen, go ahead and tap the screen, hit that follow button. And also real quick, when you share this live out, y'all, please share it to your stories. All right. Again, thank y'all so much for being here. Chelsea, good to see you in the building. Let's see. Foreign, thank you so much. And also, y'all, let's go ahead and knock out the gift gallery. Ghost case. Thank you. Foreign, thank you so much. Y'all, let's go ahead and knock that. Y'all, 4 people already knocked it out. We need the rest of to go ahead and complete that out. Again, y'all, if y'all just not coming in, we're just not getting started. Okay, we only been live for 30 minutes. Queen Neil, thank you for the gamepad. Really about that life. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for showing up. All right. Pay close attention to this interview.
The bottom of as much as we can, because this is so dynamic. There's so many elements that we don't know. The state hasn't really produced a lot of information, and people who understand investigations know why they haven't. I don't believe that's anything nefarious. I think they're just doing their fair due diligence. But based on your expertise as a chief medical examiner, is there anything that stands out about the autopsy produced by the state that we know of, or at least the preliminary findings of that, and also the secondary autopsy that was conducted or paid for by the family? Is there anything that stands out to you that is suspicious in this, from what we know?
Well, so the difficulty we have at the present time is you have an ongoing investigation. You have findings from each autopsy. He's decomposed. The autopsy from the state hasn't issued any formal declaration. And then the secondary autopsy has had some findings, a reddening of the head, back of the head that they discussed. And then they mention the absence of the neck structures and other things. So right at this time, because of the investigation and no autopsy is performed in a vacuum, you have all these parts of the investigation that are still ongoing. And that is why everybody's kind of waiting to see where it goes. Because with a drowning, it's a diagnosis of exclusion, which basically means everything else has to be ruled out before you can say he drowned. Because right now, all we have is a young man found dead in the water and no explanation of how he got there or why he got there. And so until all these findings are come into play and everything's kind of done with the investigation, toxicologies come back, histologies come back, which is the microscopic sections, all these factors, once they're all back, then we can finally come to a proper conclusion. But at the present time, we don't really have all the information to give an actual finding.
And so when it comes to the redness, Dr. Crowns, what does that actually mean? Because it appears from what I heard of Benjamin Crump's articulation of what the secondary autopsy found was that there was redness, I think, underneath the skin. There was no lacerations to the skin, no obvious signs of bruising or trauma to the external part of the skin. So what does that tell you? I mean, have you seen this in your time doing autopsies? What exactly is redness to the back of his head? What does that mean? And what exactly is he describing there?
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all.
So it's an interesting statement.
Randy,
because
thank you.
Dr. Mitchell doesn't describe it as hemorrhage. He described it as a reddened area in the deep soft tissue of the occipital region of the head, which is the back of the head. There's a reddened.
Now, again, y'all, I'm going to say why this video is playing. Y'all make sure TikTok only. Make sure y'all tap the screen and get those likes up. Hell, y'all been doing it already. We almost at 200K and we only been live for 35 minutes. 200 motherfucking K and we only been live for 35 minutes. That's fucking amazing. Sheila, thank you so much. Randy, thank you so much for the pink cowboy. And also Sylvia, thank you so much for the metamorphosis. Look like that fly just came out of his closet. Y'all, again, y'all, don't forget to hit that follow button. But listen, y'all, pay attention to everything this man is saying and how Officer Tatum is, he's setting up these questions. Boss Lady, thank you so much for shaking your ass. Look how he's setting up the questions. Because the video that I'm going to play after this is going to blow your fucking mind.
Area. Deep soft tissue could mean musculature. A reddened area could be hemorrhage, which could be from blunt force trauma. It could also be hyperextension of the neck for some reason, if like he fell out of the boat, hyperextended his neck. And it can also be from decompositional changes. Breakdown of the muscular tissue can give this kind of reddened look to the tissue itself. And finally, it could just be post-mortem pooling of the blood in that specific area. Because after the decedent was found, he's going to be placed on his back, the autopsy is going to be performed, and then his body was transported to Washington, D.C., where it was then re-autopsied. And all this time it's going to be on its back. Blood's not drained out of the body at autopsy, so you could still see some pooling of the blood. But at this time, is it decompositional changes? Is it trauma? Or is it something else? We really don't know. And I assume Dr. Mitchell probably took sections of the tissue from that area to look at under the microscope.
All right, hold on one second, y'all. Julia, thank you so much. Charles, thank you. Didi, thank you. Didi, thank you. Didi, thank you. Queen Girls, thank you for the rose. And also, Johnny, thank you so much for the rose.
See if it is indeed trauma related. Now, your other question is could we see injuries on the skin surface? Yes, if he had had a bruise to that area, a laceration, which is a cut or a tearing of the skin, and an abrasion, which is kind of scratching the skin surface, you would still be able to see that.
All right, let me pause it. If you're new watching on TikTok, the reason why you would see me pause the video, the reason why you'll see me switch screens from a big video back down to a small video, chat, so people can see it. Why do I do that? Why do we do that over here? We go from the big screen back to the small screen, or I have to pause it. That's right. TikTok has rules, restrictions, all of that stuff. That's right. So when y'all see me move around, I'm just trying to make sure the platform don't get restricted, okay? All right.
Even if he had been decomposed, you would
Laura.
still be able to see that. The only way
I know you motherfucking lying. Hold on, Mo knows with the colorful. That was 700. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Y'all, Laura just sent 10 of the hand hearts, and I think that was in the gift gallery. Laura, shout outs, man. Look, let me tell you something. Damn, that CPU is running. Laura, thank you so much for those 10 hand hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Who brings the vibes? Great vibes. Hey, vibes. What number? Great vibes. And who wants the truth? Wait, truth. Turn it up. Great vibes. Great vibes on 10. Let the
Laura, thank you, sweetheart.
truth, laughs, and
Appreciate it.
energy everywhere we
Thank you.
go. Great vibes on 10. We're here to win. Bring the questions and dive right.
Y'all can't tell me our theme song don't want you just want to get up and shake your ass. If you ain't got no ass, be proud of it. Be proud that your ass is so flat. Stop getting mad at other people because they got shit back there. All right? If your ass don't have an ass, if your ass is lacking ass, be happy that your ass is lacking the ass thereof. So stop competing with people with other asses. Most of them asses ain't theirs. They put a down payment on it. They still paying that shit off with a high ass interest rate. They still paying that ass off. So y'all need to stop getting mad. All right. Charcy, 59 and Fabulous, Shiesty, all of y'all, thank y'all so much. I don't know how the fuck we got there, but I'm finna wheel it back in. All right. She said I just lost all my ass. She lost over 100 pounds. Damn. So your ass just sliding out of seats, huh? I bet your ass be sitting there IHOP and you know the seat already slippery. So by you not having no ass, yo, you get stuck. Y'all better shake it. Helza, why you coming in here telling me to play the damn video? GV, play the video. Well, I'm about to play it, okay? Don't be coming in here rushing me. I'm about to hit play.
it would disappear as if scavengers had eaten it away, or he had decomposed so much he'd be skeletal. So if there was injury to the outer surface of his body, Dr. Mitchell and the initial medical examiner in Mississippi would have spotted that and would have made note of it.
So, but there is nothing noted in specific that it was any damage or bruising to the outer skin layer.
Not that I've seen on the report.
Do you think that, you know, after looking at the secondary report,
listen,
obviously
y'all.
people have their own opinions about whether or not this is necessary
Thank
or
you,
not.
Kayla.
I find it to be reasonable to get a second opinion, especially when it's your child that have died. You know, you want to make sure that every stone is unturned.
Thank you, April.
Do you find anything
Thank you.
specific in the report from the secondary autopsy to be malicious, or do you think that everything that was written down seems to be consistent with what you would write if you had observed something similar to Nolan's death or his body? Because, you know, like the redness, bringing up that, maybe Benjamin Crump just didn't do a good job at explaining it, but it appears that bringing that up, was it necessary to further explain in detail like you just did?
I'm telling y'all what he's doing, right? This is what you call manipulating. Yeah, it's been a long day. Manipulation. He's manipulating the conversation, the question, how he's setting the question up. That's what he's doing, allegedly. Mo knows that them colorful wings was 700 diamonds. I don't know, y'all, man. I really appreciate Miss V. Thank you so much for the mind blown. All right, Delicious. I'll say that better. He's leading, right? He's leading like crazy work. All right.
because I feel like it creates more concern or questions than it does answers. Is there anything mysterious about that, or do you think it's typical the way a medical examiner would articulate it, and it would take somebody that know what they're talking about to present it to the public instead of somebody like Benjamin Crump who may not be as familiar with some of the details?
That's the longest ever.
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head. The difficulty from the presentation by Mr. Crump of the initial findings from the second autopsy, it's difficult for him to articulate some of the words because some of them are very hard to pronounce. And then it's also interpretation, and it leads to more questions. And that's the problem by not having Dr. Mitchell standing there. He couldn't field the questions. He couldn't explain what he was thinking this reddened area in the deep soft tissues meant or anything of that nature. And you just have Benjamin Crump, who's not a doctor, telling the people what is found and no explanation, which leads to more confusion, more conspiracies, and more frustration. So it's helpful when something like this occurs for the actual medical examiner who did the second autopsy to be there to explain their findings for the people when they have questions. It clarifies things so you don't get all this speculation. Now, as far as the autopsy is concerned, I think Dr. Mitchell did a fine job. I don't think he put any language in his autopsy that was inflammatory or making accusations or anything of that nature. And I think he did a very, classy report to basically say, this is what I found and this is what I'm thinking. And he didn't even go as far as him saying undetermined, is basically saying, I don't have all the information right now. And if I have to give a cause of death, the best I can do is undetermined.
Yeah, that seemed fair to me. I think I'm consistent on that. When I was filtering through what Benjamin Crump was trying to read, I felt like it was very fair and it was very consistent with what I expected from the first autopsy being done, and no obvious signs of foul play, which what the law enforcement said. So there still could be something there. There still could be a homicide that occurred. It's just that initially there's no obvious signs, and there was no obvious signs in the secondary autopsy. The throat situation is another thing that I don't understand, right? Initially, when it was projected to the public, people don't know exactly what was taken out of the throat, right? I mean, the external portion of the neck, if it wasn't extreme decomposition, or some animals, took chunks out of it, the layer of the skin here is still intact. It's just the internal workings of the throat. Can you explain what was missing, and is that normal or is that inconsistent with producing the body to a secondary autopsy, that the throat would be completely missing?
You can't find a ranch style with a view. And a mom-in-law suite.
Certainly. So when we're talking about the throat, you have the skin, of course, as you talked about. And then immediately underneath that skin, like within a quarter inch or so, is your hyoid bone, thyroid cartilage, trachea, mainstem bronchi. So it's your upper airway. Behind that's your esophagus. Sides of it are your internal jugular carotid artery. And then you have these muscles. They're called the strap muscles of your neck, and they help move your head around. So when you do an autopsy, you do a layered neck dissection. You cut the surface of the skin back, and then you peel each muscle up looking for hemorrhages, which would be signs of a strangulation or other blunt force trauma to the neck. And then you evaluate the areas that are the thyroid cartilage and the trachea, larynx, and hyoid bone for fractures. With a young individual like Mr. Wells was, these areas are not ossified, which means they're not bony, and they don't have a tendency to break in a strangulation until you get much further along in age. Probably around 50, you'll start seeing fractures. But at this age, they'd be very rubbery, so they wouldn't necessarily break unless there's an extreme amount of pressure put on them. But so you have these structures in the neck that you look at, evaluate for strangulations, the layered neck dissection of the muscles, looking for hemorrhage, looking at the thyroid cartilage for fractures, looking at the hyoid bone for fractures, and you take them all out during autopsy. And the thing is when you are concerned about something, or you think there might be a microfracture or something of those nature, you keep those structures, you put them in formaldehyde, and you give them a chance for all those, because when you take a tissue out at the time of autopsy, it can be very floppy or very soft. But when you let it fix in formaldehyde, it gets very stiff, and you can take better sections to look at under the microscope and evaluate for trauma. So it's not unusual for someone to save the neck structures, especially if there's some concern of foul play or something like that.
You better stop singing to me, girl. Don't be coming in here singing to me, Sylvia. Don't do that. You better watch yourself.
And to evaluate them further. The other thing is some offices will actually even go further and have an anthropologist look at those neck structures, looking specifically at the bony changes to see if they see any microfractures. So it's not unusual for someone to take it. It's not done on every autopsy, but it's done in cases in which there is some suspicion or a possibility of foul play. And again, we have this gentleman, he's found after being missing. No one knows what happened, and he's found floating up. So maybe they're wanting to do their due diligence and go further and look at the neck structures even more microscopically to make sure there's no injuries. And then the fact that it's not there is the fact that they kept it to do this further testing, and then it's not available for Dr. Mitchell to look at his autopsy, which is a limitation for him. And then one thing about second autopsies is usually it's a collaboration, because the initial doctor wants to be right. And if a second autopsy is done, usually you talk with that doctor, you collaborate, and you make sure what they find you know about and you can incorporate into your case if you think it's of significance. And you can also give them information so they can put it in their case if they think it's of significance. That way, everybody comes to a proper conclusion.
Perfect. I just want to clarify something. So with the furthering of investigation on the neck area, are you saying that because they went to the next step or wanting to do due diligence, that they may believe that there's something there? Or could it be also, is it two phases or both, where they want to do due diligence, meaning that since the circumstances were undetermined or we don't know how he died, it is invaluable as a medical examiner to do due diligence, to take that into consideration, even if it's not.
I hope y'all see what he's doing here, okay? Again, thank you so much for being here. Sylvia, again, young lady, stop playing with me. First you threw that one, and then now you throwing sunsets and shit. It's been cloudy all day. I ain't seen no damn sunset. Miss V, thank you for your summer sunset too. Candy, thank you for your stingray stinging me dead in my ass. Brianna, what? Why you doing this? I'm just saying she sent it. Nobody's been sunny all damn day. She gonna send a fucking sunset like I'm outside looking at this shit.
Clear evidence of damage to the neck initially? Or are you saying that only if you see a concern
that you would
go that extra step? I hope I'm articulating that properly. Like, is this something where as a medical examiner you want to be thorough, so you do it anyway just to...
Bad Buddy, the video right here. Right here. That's who's talking right here. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. There you go.
Rule it out in cases that are suspicious? Or do you have to see something that leads you to say, I have to do a further investigation? If I don't see anything, I'm not going to do anything with the neck.
So it would be both. If you see something, of course, you're going to take it out and do something more.
Look at Jay, y'all.
And do the extra testing.
Look at Jay, y'all. Jay showing out with the 1, 2, 3, 4 live goals. And Cotton Candy, thank you so much for the summer sun. And 59 and Fabulous, thank you so much for the 7 roses. Teresa, thank you for the rose. Success with Sandy, thank you for your 19 roses. And 59 and Fab again, thank you so much for your 31 rose. You say I'm so focused on why Dr. Mitchell can't get all the bits and pieces. Pay attention to this interview.
But if you don't see something and you're very suspicious, like you have a young man who's at a party with a whole lot of people who's now found dead,
Thank you, Sylvia.
and you don't know why, and one of the reasons can be strangulation or something along those lines, and you want to make sure you didn't miss something, then you do your due diligence and do the further testing. Because that's the problem with drownings is there may be no findings other than the fact he's dead in the water, and you have to figure out how he got there.
And the toxicology results, could the neck have something to do with the toxicology results, or is that not related whatsoever?
So toxicology results will be from testing of blood, a fluid in the eyeball called vitreous. Some offices use gastric contents and urine and even bile, but it won't have anything to do with the neck structures.
And when it comes to the toxicology results, is there how long does it take for the medical examiner, someone like yourself, to get from doing an examination to then having toxicology done and results sent back to you for evaluation?
So it depends on the jurisdiction, but standardly it's about 6 to 8 weeks for toxicology to come back. It can come back quicker if there's nothing to be found, but usually if they are finding some things, it'll take 6 to 8 weeks. And I would also say if there is any decomposition in Mr. Wells, which I think they've alluded to, there can be decomposition production of alcohol by the bacteria that's breaking down your body. So he will have an alcohol level that can be actually, he could have had no alcohol in his system, but it'll show alcohol, or the alcohol he had in his system will be even higher because of the decomposition.
Are you able to determine how much alcohol could have been metabolized based on some mathematical structure, or how do you know what the difference is? Like, now
I want y'all to understand what Tatum doing here, okay? Listen to what he's doing. Listen to what he's saying and understand what he's doing. Because when I play this next video, it's going to make sense. All right. JP Howard, thank you so much for the Dolphin. Boss Lady, thank you so much for the money gun. I do apologize for the computer freezing up. Sylvia, thank you again for the Dolphin. For the love you so much times 40. I bet you your finger time. And Becca, thank you so much for your heartbeat.
Somebody, the cause of death could have been maybe they drank too much and they had.
Anybody want to address what? Don't. Amber, hold on. I got it, Amber. You know what? I don't even have the energy right now. I don't even have the energy. Ooh, they coming in telling you how to run your life.
They died from alcohol poisoning, but then they die and they decompose, and then their alcohol concentration is even greater. Are you able to determine the alcohol that was drunk while the person was alive versus the alcohol that's been created through
no
decomposition?
You can't tell the difference. Yeah, you can't tell the difference.
But
it's just you can look at the body and say, they're in a moderate state of decomposition. They've got bloating, they've got green discoloration, skin slippage, and then their blood alcohol comes back at a 0.10 or a 0.08, and then you can be like, well, decomposition could have elevated that, or it could all be from decomposition. It'd be difficult to say.
Oh, okay. So there's no mathematical equation of alcohol produced through decomposition, or from a week versus a day, or there's no, because like you drink alcohol and there's a certain way the body metabolizes alcohol over time, so you can kind of do a reverse mathematical equation and say, okay, if this person has alcohol here, and we can deduce that the person's alcohol level was this because they metabolized at this rate. So there's no rate of alcohol production from decomposition. That's
correct. There's no formula. You couldn't predict it.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, do you ever see, or have you ever seen a situation where you predicted that it had to have been from decomposition because the alcohol concentration or alcohol level was so high when a person has been found dead after a week or so? Because you say, well, if it's a 0.2 something and he's been dead for a week, well, I guess the body would metabolize it if you're dead. So the alcohol concentration is going to be very difficult to determine if he was intoxicated when he died or it had no result at all.
Right. So whenever you drink a beer, it's a can of beer, a shot of hard liquor or like whiskey, a glass of wine. It elevates your blood alcohol 0.02%. And then you metabolize at a rate of 0.02%. So you drink one glass, you wait an hour, your blood alcohol is back to 0. So when you die, you don't continue to metabolize the alcohol you had in your system. So if you died at a 0.08%, you will be 0.08%. But as the decomposition occurs, your blood alcohol level will elevate. So you'll go from that 0.08 to a 0.18. And in the literature, it says it usually gets to about a 0.1, depending on how decomposed they are. But they've even found people getting up to a 0.19. So we have to, anytime the body's decomposed and we get an alcohol level back, we have to look at it and be like, well, they are decomposed, so I don't know if it was really that high. One of the things you can look at is the liver. Is when you drink, it causes basically damage to your liver, and the liver compensates by creating fat in the liver. So instead of the liver being this kind of brownish red coloration, it gets this yellow, bright yellow look to it. So in a binge drinker type situation, we might see this big kind of greasy yellow liver, and then we'll get the alcohol level. And yes, it's elevated by decomposition, but we can also say, well, there is a component of that is from alcohol because of the changes in the liver. So in decomposition, you get kind of this correlation between physical findings in the organs versus the toxicology results, and then you just kind of try and make your best opinion. And that is ultimately what we are giving as our opinion.
So the inconsistencies in potential alcohol concentration of blood alcohol, will there be adversity when it comes to other forms of drugs or other things in his system that may be noteworthy? Is decomposition something that hurts the findings of those things as well? Like, just say if he had cocaine in his system, would decomposition hurt the ability for you to find that to be conclusive that it was cocaine, or could it be washed away through decomposition?
So cocaine you can still find it in decomposition. In fact, when the body starts forming blisters from decomposition, the fluid in the blisters will still have the cocaine in it. So that is one thing we can look for. There are other drugs that can be affected as far as their levels are concerned, but you can still find them even with decomposition, like methamphetamine, ecstasy, fentanyl, all the things that are popping up lately, metragenine, all those can be found still even in decomposition. It does alter the levels, but you can still find it. So you might not be able to say definitively, well, they died from a fatal amount of this particular drug, but you were able to find it.
And could there be a scenario, and I think you would be the expert that can articulate this, because I'm pretty sure you've seen it in being in Tarrant County. Could there be a scenario where we end this autopsy undetermined, where the medical examiner from the state and also the secondary medical examiner says, hey, all of the things have come out, these are the things that we're concerned about, but we're still at this point undetermined? And maybe
listen, if you're new, y'all, let's go ahead and hit that follow button on TikTok. Also, if you're watching it on YouTube, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Just don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and also that notification bell. I'm loving what I'm seeing with the stars next to your name on YouTube, y'all. Let me see more of those. And also for everybody that have badges, that's in the chat over on YouTube. Kiki, I see you. Y'all listen, y'all please join the super fan club. Again, if you're new right now, y'all drop new in the chat. I'm doing this for a reason. If you're new, and if you ain't new, don't put it in the chat. Okay. If you're new, put new in the chat. Teresa, Cash, Teresa, Niley, Mr. Alice, DS Truth, Ace Milk, Tierra, Miss Truth, Joyful Feeling, Brooklyn. Okay, that's going fast. Okay, Mark, God damn it, shit, fuck it. Pooh, Allison. Can y'all slow the fuck down so I can read it? I'll come over here sounding like being Crump on y'all asses. I'll read y'all name just the way being Crump will read your name. Don't play with me, okay? Again, if you're new, welcome in. Good to have y'all here. All right, and then again, don't forget to hit that follow button. What the hell y'all laughing at? I'm just saying. Anyway, all right, y'all, let's continue. Glow, thank you so much. Cash, thank you so much.
Maybe that's just concluded as an undetermined cause of death.
Yeah, that is a distinct possibility. Of course, he's in the water, so it's more likely than not that drowning will be some form of the cause of death. But the manner of death could ultimately be.
Jay Monte, don't be coming in here with that shit. Jay Monte, thank you for hitting the live goal. Thank you. LA Dreamer, thank you for the hat and mustache. And listen, y'all, Diddy, thank you so much for the hand hearts. 59 and Fab, thank you for the roses. Glow, thank you for the cake slices. Glow, thank you for the TikToks. Glow, thank you for the cocktails. Listen, if y'all see a slight freezing on the screen, y'all, we just, hey, peace be still. Hey, sweetheart. I think it's about time for me to get I need to upgrade my processor. All right. I need to upgrade that processor.
Be undetermined no matter what happens, because again, without knowing how he got in the water,
how you doing?
You can't determine a manner of death, but you know he died.
Where else do I stream real quick, y'all? Thank y'all for the questions. We're live right now on YouTube, Rumble, and also Twitch.
He was in water. They can say drowning definitively, but why he's in the water is the problem, and that's where the manner comes in. So I think ultimately you could see them saying the cause of death is drowning, but you may never have a manner at all. It may always be undetermined in this case.
Perfect. Doctor, last question. What is the biggest myth or conspiracy that you've heard surrounding this autopsy? Because I've heard a lot of things out there, and of course, I'm bombarded with information on a day-to-day basis, whether it's real or not, AI and all kind of stuff. But what is one of the biggest things, or some of the biggest things that you've seen that this autopsy has been characterized as, that
Thank you.
even the medical examiner like yourself would like to clarify or say, hey, this is what I would tell the public to do to better understand this and not get caught up in conspiracies?
If you're a dad watching this and you don't have life insurance, we need to have an honest conversation here real quick.
Okay.
Certainly. I mean, the two main things to me is the reddened area in the deep soft tissue is being interpreted as definitive blunt force trauma. No one has said that. No one has come out and said, we've looked this over and we've determined that this is indeed hemorrhage in the deep soft tissue, and we believe it's from blunt force trauma. All we know is it's a reddened area. It could be a number of things. And then the second thing is the fact that they kept certain organs or the neck tissue, that they're obviously covering something up. I don't think that the state medical examiner was doing anything nefarious in that. Of course, I don't know them. I've never, worked with them. But standard practices, doing autopsies myself, I know people will keep certain structures for certain reasons, and it has nothing to do with covering things up.
Dr. Kendall Crowns, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you.
Okay. Tatum asked about alcohol allegedly being in Nolan's system. And if it was, how could it be detected? Could y'all find out if the alcohol was consumed before he was unalived or was it done afterwards? But something that stood out when he got to asking questions about rugs. This, I want y'all to take a look at this. Okay. Y'all hold on to your listen, trigger alert. Trigger alert. I'm gonna say it again. Trigger alert. All right. Thank you, Laura.
What I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation.
Mo knows, thank you.
But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time.
I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. All right, let it sink in. Y'all been asking who's paying this guy? What is his motive here? You're gonna sit your ass. You're gonna sit your ass right there in front of the camera. And make that statement. Now, these are the same boys. Okay, why did it come up? These are the same boys that told you they took a polygraph test and passed. These were the same boys that told you that they took a polygraph test and passed. Yeah, we know now. It wasn't a polygraph test because Nancy called him out on it. But he just made it very clear. He have reliable sources. Somebody, his friends that know somebody, told him he's 100% sure that Nolan was using rugs during this encounter. The name starts with a C. Let's continue.
This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Now, again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But from the sources that I'm getting it from has been consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and hadn't been wrong about nothing. So there's a possibility that there's a person that Nolan may have been around or interacted with that is giving cocaine to people on this island, that Nolan may have taken the cocaine. And then also, I received a DM from someone DMing another person. Now, I'm trying to leave these names out because I want to not mess this investigation up. I think law enforcement already have this. That alluded to the fact that, and I messaged this person because I want to talk directly to the person that I saw the DM from. And we haven't talked to this person yet. But the person said in the DM to another kid.
Thank you, T-Boo.
That is associated, not any of the kids that I interviewed to talk to, but that could be associated to some degree, that knew Nolan, that this person wrote a message.
Thank you,
saying,
Sunshine.
Me and my husband saw you arguing with Nolan, and to the effect of you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Now, the person did not say they saw a physical altercation. The person did not say what time they saw Nolan and this other person getting into an argument. Now, this is after Warren, their boat left. This may be somewhere around a little bit before 6, right around 6 or a little bit before 6 p.m. Now, according to the autopsy, which I interviewed a medical examiner about this, there is no evidence of blunt force trauma or an evidence that Nolan got into a physical altercation. So I'm putting all this stuff together, what people are sending me and all that, and I'm trying to find a neutral point to share with you. What I'm thinking at this point, with all that has been said, is that somebody knows exactly what happened to Nolan, or they saw him right before he died. I am not convinced that Nolan was just out there and drowned. It could be. That could have happened. But I'm more convinced now than ever based on what people have been telling me and DMs that I've been seeing, people that have been verified sources, that has to be something with this cocaine. There has to be something.
Who see what's going on here? Who see it? Put a 1 in the chat if you see it. Y'all, this is sad. Is he allegedly, is he saying, or is he trying to say that Nolan because I know you're not trying to say Nolan. Now y'all see why I played that first that interview with him and that chief medical examiner, because he set that question up to make it as if Nolan was taking drugs that he heard from somebody that heard from somebody that knows somebody, and all of these people are credible sources and witnesses that saw Nolan using drugs on the island. So are you trying to say Tatum Nolan was unalive from the rugs, maybe an overdose. I don't see how people can support this narrative that this man have been pushing for the past few weeks. Let me rewind just a little bit and we're going to hit play. All right. Again, if you're new, don't forget to hit that follow button. If you're on TikTok, hit that follow button right now. And also get your daily heartbeat. If you're new over on YouTube, oh, I see y'all. I see you. Thank y'all so much for being here, and also on Rumble and also on Twitch. But don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. All right. Thank you, Logic. I appreciate that. Logic said, GV, I truly appreciate your presence and engagement. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. That was nice for her to put that on YouTube. I appreciate that. Y'all listen to this.
A little bit before 6, right around 6 or a little bit before 6 p.m. Now, according to the autopsy, which I interviewed a medical examiner about this, there is no evidence of blunt force trauma or an evidence that Nolan got into a physical altercation. So I'm putting all this stuff together, what people are sending me.
No. I'm telling you what you're doing. No. You're not finna speed. No, you're not finna gas like this. Again, we're not saying that these boys are responsible for the unaliving of Nolan Wells. We're not saying that because we still don't know what happened to him. But what we are saying is we see what you're doing. You're trying to remove any possibilities that these boys had to do with anything with the unaliving of Nolan Wells. Again, you made it your mission to go out there to Ocean Springs. The boy said it in the video that you came out here to give us a voice and clear our names. So now, Tatum, what you're doing is the video we played yesterday was very disrespectful, not only towards Nolan, but also towards his mother. I kind of peeped you out, dude. I went on your YouTube channel. We're going to get into that tomorrow. I know who you are standing for because now I have the videos. This man is making it so he's trying to flip the narrative that these boys didn't have nothing to do with Nolan's unaliving. But I'm not saying they did. But he's talking as if he have all the evidence and the proof to remove these boys' presence away from Nolan and trying to pin it on someone else or anything. Now he's talking about cocaine in his system that he heard from somebody else.
And I'm trying to find a neutral point to share with you. What I'm thinking at this point, with all that has been said, is that somebody knows exactly what happened to Nolan, or they saw him right before he died. I am not convinced that Nolan was just out there and drowned. It could be. That could have happened. But I'm more convinced now than ever based on what people have been telling me and DMs that I've been seeing, people that have been verified sources, that has to be something with this cocaine. There has to be something with Nolan and a girl. And there has to be something with Nolan potentially being in either altercation with somebody, which would lead me to believe that person saw Nolan last.
I told y'all. All right. I told y'all. Yes, Vicky. He had verified sources through hearsay. Again, he's trying to paint the picture that Nolan Wells could have been unalive by the use of rugs and also the last person he was with, clearing those boys off the alley. Nolan, according to Tatum, Nolan was still there and he's pushing that narrative. Nolan was still on the island. He's pushing that narrative.
And that this other person that's giving people cocaine. So this person giving people cocaine, a girl, Nolan, and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated.
Wait. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I need to rewind.
Knows exactly what happened to Nolan, or they saw him right before he died. I am not convinced that Nolan was just out there and drowned. It could be. That could have happened. But I'm more convinced now than ever based on what people have been telling me and DMs that I've been seeing, people that have been verified sources, that has to be something with this cocaine. There has to be something with Nolan and a girl. And there has to be something with Nolan potentially being in either altercation with somebody, which would lead me to believe that that person saw Nolan last. And that this other person that's giving people cocaine. So this person giving people cocaine, a girl, Nolan, and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated. And I can say more, but I'm trying not to get anything messed up in this case because I want justice for Nolan and I want the boys that weren't involved in this to not get caught up in stupidity. So just so you guys know, I know the names of the cocaine person. I believe I know who the girl is. And I know the name. The person that may have been in an argument with Nolan. And there's nothing conclusive that anybody's telling me where there was violence that occurred. But that does not mean that the violence is ruled out. That does not mean that something could have happened in the water. Another report came to me of someone saying that they saw Nolan with a girl, being intimate in the water to the point where it caught their attention. And they believed that they saw Nolan and this girl struggling in the water, not necessarily drowning, but struggling. Like it was obvious enough that the person was concerned when they saw Nolan in the water and he was with this girl. And that the person explicitly said that they were being intimate, which I don't know what that means as far.
Y'all, I'm going to say what I need to say. Just let me cut this volume down. Wow. y'all, this is a lot to take in, okay? Just bear with me. So you mean to tell me you spoke with this medical examiner, you pushed the narrative that Nolan may have been unalive, a possible unalive, right? Through the use of narcotics, through hearsay. Also, you allege that you know the name of the person that was supplying narcotics to Nolan on the island, allegedly. Then you just allege this is the first time that a fight possible could have broke out because allegedly Nolan was in the water with a girl having relations, allegedly. Now, both of those instances, both of those situations I just explained, have y'all ever heard that? Yes or no? It could have been from cocaine. Now he's talking about this girl, he being intimate with this girl under the water. I mean, in the water. Y'all see how he's pushing, right? He's trying to remove these gentlemen away from Nolan, especially that time frame, because he mentioned 6:00 p.m. He knew that for a fact, that Nolan was still left behind with the girl in the water. It's amazing how y'all know these. I mean, how y'all stick with these time zones. But don't worry about it. We got the police report. We're going to compare your timestamps with the report. Don't worry about it. Sweetest, thank you so much. Y'all, this guy is crazy. This guy is crazy, allegedly. Like, dude, why no, I'm gonna save that. I need to learn how to control my crash outs.
Is just kissing, hugging, cuddling, or something else. But that's what has been told to me. And these sources have been, the sources I think have been legitimized, but what they're saying, I haven't been able to verify. This is just someone saying this,
legitimized,
and I'm telling you what I'm hearing. So when the toxic,
sir, legitimized means verified. It's legitified. It's legitified, but I didn't. Damn, but I didn't. What the fuck, y'all? What are we doing here? It's legit, but I didn't verify it.
psychology come back, if there's cocaine in the system, to me, that will validate that these people that have been telling me this are being accurate. And like I said, somebody really close to Nolan made mention that they're almost 100% sure that he may have been partaking in the use of cocaine. And it's unfortunate. I've been knowing this, at least that part, for a while now, but I didn't want to put his name out there like that, given the fact that he just lost his life. But now that we're getting more information, the investigation is going further along, I'm just putting it out there. And we shall see if what is being told is accurate. But I'll finish it with this. I'm leaning more towards believing that somebody directly saw Nolan and know how Nolan died. That's my take on it. I don't think he was just drowning out there messing around. I think that somebody know more than what they're saying. And I don't think it's a lot of people. I think it's a few people that were last on the island with Nolan that know what happened, that seen what happened, or may have knowledge of something that will lead police in the right direction to find out exactly what happened. And I am encouraging you. I know some of y'all names. If it's you, you need to do the right thing. You need to go to authorities. And if you're there and you had nothing to do with it, you definitely need to go to authorities and clear your name. I'll say this: some of these people may have already gone to authorities. I don't know. The authorities won't tell me who they interviewed. So we'll go to that next step when it comes. I want to address Judge Mathis real quick. I got to.
He made it very clear that his job is to clear those boys' name. All right. Again, y'all don't forget to hit that follow button. All right. Again, this is one of those. I told y'all tonight. Take some notes. Okay. Take some notes. Now I want y'all to see this. That's crazy work. Y'all, that's crazy work. You're pushing from the idea that these boys they had anything to do with the unaliving of Nolan. You made that clearer on your interview. Hey, how could y'all did that? Y'all wasn't nowhere near him. And you said you stuck your chest out when you make that statement. Let me show y'all this. I don't know. These people think we stupid. Damn, man. Yeah, I'm still letting that sink in. Damn, dude. Damn, bro. That's some fucked up ass shit right there. Hold on. It's just one that I'm looking for. This it right here.
If you've got a military first.
Again, thank y'all so much for being here, y'all. Thank y'all for being patient with me while I get this stuff together. Man, this dude is crazy. He's unalived because of he possibly could have been unalive due to cocaine, or the last people that saw him was somebody saw him getting freaky with a girl in the water. They were being intimate, and you said you have reliable sources. This is crazy work, y'all. Y'all pay attention to this. Pay attention to the time frames, okay?
No.
Do you have personal knowledge of someone directly in your friend group having anything to do with Nolan's death?
No, not at all.
So I saw you on television, you had an interview, and I felt like you laid out a few things that I think the world needs to know and be clear about.
Okay.
And the first one is the relationship.
Now, I see the chat. It's sad because I love how y'all are questioning. y'all are starting to see through people's bullshit the narrative that Officer Tatum is pointing. And again, I thought with something like this right here, you supposed to go, bring awareness, what's going on. But Tatum, brother, we see your anger. Brother, we see it. That's why Nolan Wells' mother don't want nothing to do. She don't want to have nothing to do with you. Nothing. And that's sad because you're supposed to be helping her son. And you're making this all about you, and you coming up with these narratives and these false accusations. And he's going as if this shit is right. You're talking about you have verified sources. You got reliable sources. But your reliable sources had your ass called out on Nancy Grace. Had your ass over there stuttering and shit because you. See, when you're alone in a room or you're doing a podcast, you don't have people around you to check you. So that means everything that's coming out of your mouth, you're believing it. But brother, you got to understand the internet is forever. Again, everybody welcome in.
That you had with Nolan. Can you explain your relationship with Nolan?
Yeah, I will. So his mom got on TV, as everybody has seen, and said that she didn't know me. And man, that can't be farthest from the truth. Me and Nolan, I met Nolan in 9th grade in a second block class. It was math.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Y'all be on the lookout for the moderators in the chat. They will pin certain stuff. Y'all listen, let's go ahead and if you haven't gifted to the gift, the live goal, let's go ahead and knock that out. Y'all get in the gift gallery. We got actually one more day to knock that out. I think it's like 3 more gifts left. It's 2 or 3. And also y'all, if y'all want to donate towards the channel, you could do a cash app. It's Great Vibes on 10. One word. Great Vibes on 10. Right? The number 10. Great Vibes on 10. Look at the top. Type it in. Great Vibes on 10. You're going to see my logo. All right. Again, thank y'all so much for being here. Now, cut your TVs up if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or Rumble. Cut your TVs up. Pay attention to this. Because when he get done with this interview, we're going to pull out the report that was made by this Marines and Cajun Navy and shit. When they took the police report, we're going to compare that. Because I already started looking at it, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, they've been lying. But I have to say allegedly. Thank you, child. Thank you, Nikki. And also thank you, child. Again, why do y'all think they keep on bringing up time stamps in these interviews? They are very solid on these time stamps. If nobody in there have their cell phones on them, right? If they had a watch on, probably. But you're stuck on these times. Man, we got there at 10 o'clock. The first boat left around about, a little bit before 2. Second boat, and third boat, we left, we got the hell out of there around, 4 o'clock.
He was.
Listen, y'all got that? Moderators, y'all got Thumbo?
He was one of the first guys I made friends with. It was somebody I.
Man, you know what? That shit right there, it's like you can't even. They come in here all the times making, spamming the damn chat. It's like y'all ain't got nothing else better to do. Thank you, Tracy. Let's continue.
I made a connection to, like.
Queen T, I know you lying. Oh, we're going to celebrate that. Ian Proctor, thank you for the head and mustache. Queen T, we're going to celebrate that future encounter. I got you.
Off rip, he was an athlete. I could tell he was an athlete. When I walked into class, we sat really close to each other. And all he did, he turned around and asked me for a pencil when I first met him in 9th grade when I moved to Ocean Springs. Man, it was tough. And the relationship there has always been a best friend in my eyes. I never wanted to take away how close somebody else was with Nolan, but Nolan was my best friend. That was a guy I knew I could call at any point in time. He called me at 11 o'clock on the 4th to see where I was parked at. Man, me and Nolan have countless nights of him giving me advice on my girlfriend, on my life in general. Nolan has been the only friend, and I love my friends and my best friend in this group of guys, but Nolan has been the only person that ever tell me, like, he's proud of what I've done. He's proud of how hard I worked. He's proud of me going overseas to go play ball. That was my guy. Like, that was my best friend.
10 wings, $10. At Zaxby's, the math is mathing. Zaxby's 10 for 10.
I ain't paying for no subscription, y'all. Whatever. Call me whatever you want. I ain't paying for shit.
Yeah, and so how does it make you?
So you want to get mad at me for these damn commercials? How about you shut the commercials off on your side, okay? Pay for my subscription because I ain't doing shit. Charleston, thank you. High ass shit. I'll work with the free. I'll work with them commercials. High ass subscription. I ain't paying for that shit. I don't know why the hell they be trying to get us to pay for shit that we ain't got. Gina coming in here with the hand hearts, throwing love all over the place. MP Enterprises, Mr. Loss, appreciate your heart meet.
Feel when the media activists are coming out?
Listen, Candace, he said, RN, you said first arrest. I pray this is true. Now over here, I don't put up fake thumbnails. During halfway through this video, I'll show y'all the video where 2 people was arrested by the FBI.
And alluding to the fact that you may have something to do with what happened to Nolan on that day.
Man, that hurts. It hurts is an understatement. I beat myself up every night I lay down. Beat myself up anytime it crosses my mind. Because in my head, if I wasn't drinking, if I didn't get into that altercation, maybe I would be able to do something. Maybe I would have saw something. Maybe I would have.
Y'all, shout outs to Laura. Y'all, listen, sorry about making these faces. I'm trying to be non-biased here. Shout outs to Laura. Thank you so much for the CA, y'all. Let's get that train moving. That sound bad at 10 o'clock at night, a train. That shit sound fucked up. Let's keep this ball rolling. It's great vibes on 10. Okay, that's the CA. That's the cash out. Talking about using a damn train at 10 o'clock at night. That's when people's minds go left.
I told Nolan, hey, man, you're not going with that girl. Just come back with us. We're going back a little bit later. We can go meet up with the guys later. Maybe it just plays out different. And then the fact that they're going to play that is I'm already trying to mourn my friend's death as is, and I'm blaming myself for it. To put that in my head is a next level of hurt that can't be truly explained. Because, man, it's hard to put into words. Generally, it's
Nars, let me ask you a question. Y'all look at this comment right here. TikTok here, YouTube right below me. You said this kid has no reason to lie. Nars. Do you know this child? Yes or no? Do you know this child? Nars. Answer the question. Yes or no? You said he has no reason to lie. Do you know him, Nards? I'm not saying he's guilty of anything, but y'all talk as if you know these people.
backstabbing from a sense of a community that I thought I had with my skin color, and they stay so strong together, and I'm supposed to be one of them, but I come up and I speak, and now I'm the person to blame. Now I'm not dark enough for them. I'm not black enough for them. and now I'm the issue. It doesn't make sense. In my head, it doesn't make sense.
Was Nolan? I mean, obviously you were in the friend group, but the way the media makes it seem is that almost as if Nolan was the only black person in this whole friend group. Now they don't even mention you. They don't bring you up in this whole thing when it comes to, you know, what happened at Horn Island. So what's your take on Nolan being, you know, presented as like the only black kid in a group of all these white boys?
That's crazy, man. I know we've spoken a little bit, but that friend group that I'm a part of to this day was the first friend group I was in when I moved to Ocean Springs as a new kid coming in. I never knew any of them. I'd known one, kind of, sort of, back from grade school because we went to the same private school together, but that was it. That was it. And him being the only black person, minority, any of that measure is insane. Our friend group is diverse from the max. Like, we have a mixed guy. I mean, we had Nolan in our friend group. There's an Asian a part of our friend group. There's a Latino that they're trying to perceive as white. He's truly authentic Mexican. His parents are from Mexico.
What the hell they got to do with it?
They came over legally and they did everything right, and he's been here since.
What are you doing, Tatum?
It blows my mind.
These don't have shit to do with nothing.
Our friend group is not a friend group that sees race.
It ain't got shit to do with them.
Our friend group sees what good you do.
I don't know
for
what the
other
fuck you
people,
talking about. This shit
what
right
good
here.
you bring.
Ask the right
the
questions.
type of person you truly are.
Ask the right questions.
And where your morals lie.
Tatum.
That's one thing in common. Me and my friends might not agree on everything, but our morals align. Our morals know. So for them to even make that narrative up really shows you have no idea what it's like down here on the coast. You have no idea how tight-knit Ocean Springs as a community is. You don't understand it. You don't see the thousands of kids in the high school football stands cheering their team on. Nobody cares what color you are. We're there to have fun and to just live. And that's how Nolan lived. That's how I live now. I've grown up and I have more big boy stuff, but in high school, all I cared about was going to hang out with my guys. And I mean, on a personal level that leads off of it, is like, it got me in trouble with my girlfriend just because I wanted to be with the guys. I never once thought, man, they look at me different. Man, I'm kind of an outcast to them. No. All their moms have always welcomed me with open arms. Anytime I needed anything, I knew I could call them and their parents, and they would do anything in the world for me. So with Crump pushing this narrative, it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's completely wrong, especially about our friend group.
Yeah, I find it, you know, especially after talking to you, meeting some of the guys, that it seems like there was an agenda. But can you walk us through just your perspective from that day? You know, I don't know if did you go with them initially? Were you a part of the group that went to Horn Island?
So I wasn't, clear that up. No, I was not on the boat with them. Yes, I was a part of the group that was supposed to go out. So the only reason why I did not go on the boat is I was offered, I got begged to go, but my uncle, we also took 12 people out on our boat, not including us two, so 14. And my uncle knows the passengers wouldn't have helped. Generally wouldn't have helped with anything. With that many people on a boat, you need a little bit of help. So my uncle was like, hey, can you just ride out with me and you can go do your thing throughout the day on the island? I don't care, I don't need you. I just need help to get out there and then pick everything up.
Listen, everybody that's watching on TikTok, other platforms, YouTube, y'all good. Twitch, y'all are good. And also Rumble, y'all are good. TikTok, do me a favor. Anytime I switch the video, the playing over to the bigger screen, just make sure y'all start tapping the screen. Because TikTok don't like that shit. That's why y'all seeing me switch the screen back and forth from big screen to small screen. That will get the platform violated. Also, I just need 3 people to knock out the last 3 gifts in the gift gallery, which is the Party On and On, the Lion, and also the Zeus. Everything else is completed. Again, y'all normally be on top of that. So again, thank y'all so much. Also, if you're new, hit that follow button at the top of your screen. Get your day in a heartbeat. Thank y'all so much for tapping. And when you share the live out, listen, y'all, education. When you share the live out on TikTok, share it out to your story. Okay. So I need, if I just can only get 100 people to do that, okay? I don't know how many people we got in here. We got, what, about 1,200 people in here. I just need 100 you all to share the live out to your story, okay? And again, thank y'all so much for doing that. And thank y'all for being here.
I know all these people are going to be drunk and they're not going to want to do the extras that nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that, and oops, my bad. But I told him.
It's good.
I told him that, and I told him everything, which was go to plan. We were leaving a little bit earlier than them.
Thank you, Amy.
I was gonna try to have a spot saved out, and Nolan calls me at 11 o'clock. I missed his phone call. Called me twice. I missed both of them. I saw Wyatt and Nolan on the boat. They pulled right in front of our boat, and they were screaming. I turned my head and I was like, "Yo, there's a spot over there." Where they end up anchoring out. I helped them set their stern anchor.
Notice again, there go the timestamp. It's amazing how they know these timestamps. That's amazing to me. That's really amazing to me how when he interviewed Warren, he interviewed him, they know about these timestamps. That just, I'm still trying to figure that out. Now again, I'm not saying these boys are guilty of anything. That's not what we're saying over here. But these timestamps is very important.
From the time they showed up until now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them, minus the morning time before they got out there. But from the time they got out there to the time they went back in, I was with them. Those are my friends, man. Those are my guys.
Yeah, I want to get a few more details.
I'm sorry about that.
I know that. Yeah, go ahead. I know that you were all over the news because there was a perceived fight. People, this is the thing that gets me, and I want to you clarify this. When I saw the video that they put out on the internet claiming that Nolan was saying, "Give me my effing phone back," the coach came out, Nolan's coach came out and said immediately he knew it wasn't Nolan's voice. And obviously it wasn't Nolan's voice because you were the one that was
me yelling,
in there yelling, and you got into an altercation with somebody. What happened after that? Like, put me in your place where the fight is over, whatever happened. Nolan is somewhere, you're somewhere, you're hanging out. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan before you left Horn Island?
So after the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hearing me yelling, my uncle had told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. What wasn't smart, man. Mm-hmm. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset, as Javon mentions.
Wait a minute. Wait, you mean to tell me I missed that? Wait a minute. Hold the fuck on. Pump the fucking brakes. Let me rewind it. I don't want to say something that. Let me rewind it.
It's over. Whatever happened. Nolan is somewhere, you're somewhere, you're hanging out. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan before you left Horn Island?
So after the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hearing me yelling, my uncle had told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. obviously I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get up, what wasn't smart, man. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions that they were.
Okay, I noticed a pattern here. Right? Okay. So I noticed a pattern here. And that said we gotta do work like we fucking detectives. It's a question, okay? Question. For some odd reason, y'all saying Nolan was nowhere around. Y'all all traveled together, but Nolan is nowhere to be found during this fight. Let me say this again. Nolan is nowhere to be found. Y'all listen to me very closely. Nolan is nowhere to be found during this fight. And now y'all trying to get the hell off the island. My question is, why is everybody trying to get off this island so fast? What happened during the fight? Why are so many people, y'all listen to me. Why, normally when men fight or young men fight, we're fighting, right? And a lot of times we get done, we dap it up, hey bro, hey, just it's a respect thing. And you go back to having fun. I don't know why I didn't think of this week. Why did y'all find it very urgent to get the hell off the island? The reason why I say that, listen, the reason why I asked that is because during this CETO call, damn near everybody on that boat sound like that they were freaking the fuck out. Whole or not. Damn near everybody on the boat sounded like they were freaking out. Yeah, walk with me, y'all. This alleged fight took place by several of you all. Now y'all hollering and screaming at each other. Hey, we need to get the fuck off this island. Why? Why? Yeah, do I make sense? Listen, do I make sense? Is this something somebody else thought about? Because this is my first time right now thinking about this shit. What made y'all? What is the urgency? Y'all, because remember they said, y'all remember Warren said, y'all, we walking through this. Remember Warren said the last time he saw Nolan was around 3:00. He was with Katie in the water, booed up. Tatum alleged in that last video I played for you all that Nolan was in the water with this unknown girl doing something, being intimate. His words. It's a fight broke out. Some of y'all get involved in this fight and y'all find this unknown person, and now y'all rushing to get the fuck off the island. Because Warren said the first boat, because it was 3 of them that came out there, that first one got the hell out of there before they were able to leave. Because allegedly the Sea Triton, whatever you call it, that boat was sinking. And they had to, y'all listen to me. Wait. Remember day before yesterday? Hold on, let me cook. Let me cook. Remember day before yesterday? I dropped the video. If Warren said he observed the boat sinking after this fight. He observed the boat sinking. But they're hollering for the people that they roll with them. Hey, y'all, we got to get the hell out of here. We got to go. So you piled people up on this sinking boat, this boat that was flooding. What's the rush? The first boat already took the fuck off out of there. Y'all hop on Wyatt's boat. You're trying to get the hell out of there. A sinking boat. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. Why are you throwing people on the sinking boat? After a fight. After a fight. Why leave so quickly? What happened? Just asking a question.
Ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up.
Thank you, Fran.
I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him, us joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight.
What?
Create PDF spaces in a click. Connect your dots.
Wait.
Last thing, we started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him, us joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight.
I had to get somebody out the chat for the past few days. Right now, it's a lot of people that's asking questions in the chat. Thank y'all. Y'all, for the most part, y'all are being very respectful in the chat. Y'all been doing it all week, right? But this person been in the chat for the past few days, and I was trying to get that individual, show this person grace. But what you're not going to do is come in here disrespecting me, the moderators, and also going off on people in the chat for asking questions. It was NARS, yes. People are here because they want to know the truth.
Last thing I told Nolan was, all right, buddy, I love you. See you later. And I'm glad I said it. I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, you know, getting all lovey-dovey, but I'm at peace I said it. I'm glad I said it. That was my last encounter with Nolan.
You're at peace. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's so much that's not being said here. Okay? It's so much that's not. Wait, y'all. Hold on.
Was, all right, buddy, I love you. See you later. And I'm glad I said it. I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, you know, getting all lovey-dovey, but I'm at peace I said it. I'm glad I said it. That was my last encounter with Nolan. Just telling him I love him.
Did you have any, so you leave the island, did you have any encounters or association with these phones, with the keys? Did you have any connection to any of that?
I did not. So what I know, Warren started, I got my first phone call from Warren at about 9:20. I didn't answer it. I was asleep. I'd been on the boat all day. I didn't feel like going to party anymore. I went to bed. So I got my first phone call about 9:20, and I didn't wake up again until a little after 11 o'clock. And that was to my brother coming in the room being like, hey, Warren's trying to get a hold of you. You need to answer the phone. They're looking for Nolan. And I'm half awake, and I pick up the phone. And by this time, nobody had came to the house to grab anything. And Warren gets on the phone, and he's just like, hey, man, he was like, hey, have you talked to Nolan? Anything else? I was like, no, I haven't talked to him, man. He was with that girl last time I knew. And he was like, okay. He was like, man, we can't get a hold of him. We don't know where he's at. And I was like, man, it's Nolan. He's probably just out somewhere with that girl. Like, get a hold of the girl, you'll probably find Nolan. It's no big deal. And he was like, all right. He was like, but we're starting to freak out. We're getting on the phone with Coast Guard. I was like, okay. And at that time, he had already talked to his mom, Nolan's mom. And he was getting on the phone with the Coast Guard. And I'd called, I need to be specific about this. I did not call Warren's phone. I called another one of our buddies' phone, and it was on speakerphone. They were all together. I was talking on my other buddy's phone, talking to Warren. He was dialing Coast Guard because he hung up the phone and was like, hey, this is them, bye, and hung up the phone. And that was the last time I talked to him until the next morning when we all decided, when I woke up about 7 o'clock that morning, we had all decided that we were going to go out on the boat and go look for Nolan. Wyatt had already had his boat still in the water. We took that boat out. It was
what day are we talking?
That's Sunday morning.
Sunday morning on the 5th. The 5th?
So it was Saturday the 4th was the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. The 5th was Sunday. We were on the water from 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. Mm-hmm. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy, and he told us to get off the water and said that they kind of had the island and the water under control. That's the professionals, man.
Yeah.
They told us to get on social media and find out any information we can. And by that time, we had already.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to save my statement when this video get done. All right. Social media, huh? Never heard a law enforcement officer say that before. Listen, if you're new to the live stream, don't forget to hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and also, y'all, let's go ahead and we at 801,000 taps. Y'all, let's go ahead and get that to 1 million. Y'all should do that in the next 15 minutes. And also, Gina, I got your message. I'm going to look at it. And number 3 is, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all. I have questions. I have questions. I have questions, y'all. Miss Dreams, thank you so much. You said there was an arrest. Yes, it was an arrest. Actually, it was 2 arrests. I'll get back to that, okay?
Talk to a good amount of people out there. So it just made sense. So we went back in and we concluded our search and started the search off socials and started sharing everything we could and try to get a hold of anybody that could have talked to Nolan, that Nolan possibly would have reached out to. And that led into the night. It led all night long. I didn't sleep at all Sunday. Monday, I was up at 5 a.m. I was putting fuel in our boat at 6. I got told that we were taking out another boat to Chandelier at 7. So I put my boat back on the lift, and I went to McDonald's, and then I got the news after I left McDonald's that his body was found. So it was already a plan that we were going and searching and trying to do everything we possibly can. And that's all I wanted to do. Is I wasn't there to help him out in his last minutes, but now I feel like as a friend and as one of my guys, man, I do everything in my power to help now. And that's why I have reached out to the family. I have donated to the family, and I have giving them just your normal death gifts, I would say, as you pay your respects. And
what the hell was that? Laura. What the hell?
Whether you're a professional technician
What the hell,
or simply take
Laura?
pride in maintaining your own cars.
Laura. I need death gifts. Jasmine, you heard him correctly. That's what he said. Your normal death gifts. Remember Warren said on yesterday, just out of nowhere, people die on that lake. People die on that lake all the time. I mean, out there on Horn Island all the time. Right? He just said it very just careless free. Laura, thank you. W in the chat for Laura, y'all. Y'all go to tap the screen. Y'all tap the screen. 900,000 taps. Let's go.
Let the whole world know. Truth, laughs, and energy everywhere we go. Break 5 on 10. We're here to win. Bring the questions and dive right in. From the shiny head to the headphones stack. From the facts to research to the phone we bring back. Break 5 on 10. Oh, forever our friends. Turn it up loud and run it.
And a good thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for being here. You said, is that me singing? Hell no. I wish I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be somewhere in a nightclub singing strippers out of their clothes.
Do you think Benjamin Crump being involved in this case made it better or worse?
100,000 times % worse. Because why on the Tuesday after where has your civil rights been broken?
Did y'all just hear that? Again, Tatum been gaslighting these boys. He's been leading. He's been the way he's setting up these questions is again to move the goalposts. Why the fuck would you ask a question about being Crump? We're trying to figure out what's going on with you, your whereabouts. Tell us what happened prior to y'all going out there on the trip to the island, right? What happened? What was y'all doing the day before? Walk me through that. The week prior, walk me through that. Right? Was anything going on at home? What was your mind frame? This is something y'all planned out? Because according to Warren, this is something y'all do every year. So did y'all have this planned out? We'll walk us through that. What the fuck Ben Crump got to do with this? Miss Cyrus, thank you for the love you. Thank you, Cyrus.
Where has it been shown? You brought Benjamin Crump to stir up a community that's already tight-knit. Yeah.
This ain't got shit to, boy, this Officer Tatum is a fucking joke. For everybody, if you're new, listen. Did y'all know Officer Tatum is trying to push the narrative that the possible cause of Nolan's death was due to cocaine? Allegedly. That's the narrative that he's painting right now. I just want y'all to know that we played the video.
Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back, 110%. We back each other. Everybody I've seen, we back each other. And for them to push this narrative and really push it, just shows me is like you have no idea who you're dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because nothing's like that at all. No.
Have you gotten death threats? Or, you know, because I know that the other young men that I spoke to about this, especially the white young men, they're getting all kind of death threats. They're being accused of killing Nolan. Did you get the same backlash and threats that some of those guys have gotten?
Yes, I've gotten the death threats per se, but I've also gotten the threats along the lines of where it's like I've been cast out of the black community. Mm. I've been called white. I've been called a wetback. All these things. I've been sent photos of me and my grandmother, and they've been told that she's the devil. She's just looking for the time to kill you. You need to be careful and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, if y'all want to know the story, the only people that showed up for me in my...
Y'all listen, we almost at 1 million, y'all. We almost at 1 million taps. It's going to be day number 5, okay? Y'all, let's go ahead and hit that 1 million taps. And y'all, I'm right here to the side, hit my vape real quick, all right? So I'm still listening to everything. And again, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all for sharing out the live. I see y'all. Thank y'all for giving the heart meets. Thank y'all for the engagement. Thank y'all for being respectful. Thank y'all. I love y'all for that. Appreciate that.
My whole life has been my white side of my family. Hmm. So for y'all to sit there and drag their name and to drag me down, and I'm supposed to be one of y'all, and you're supposed to have my back, and we're supposed to be in this together.
Everpure's data management platform unifies our data.
Booking.com, booking.yeah.
And it's really eye-opening.
Did it shock you that it turned this way? Meaning that, you know, you see everything happen. Nolan was your friend. From all the young men I talked to, it seemed like Nolan was the life of the party. Everybody loved Nolan. He gets along with everybody. Everybody's cool. And everybody feels like Nolan made them feel like everybody's his best friend, right? I mean, everybody felt connected to Nolan. Were you shocked that it turned like this? I mean, where this community was tight-knit, Nolan's friend group was tight. He ends up losing his life in an unfortunate situation, which nobody knows exactly what happened. Did it shock you that it turned into some racial thing?
Yes, racial, I do agree. Now, it going famous or going viral, that part didn't shock me. Thinking about it and being honest, like, that's not a surprise because everybody did love Nolan. Especially around here, everybody loved Nolan.
Thank you, pretty pictures.
So for people to repost that,
thank you, it's Amy.
They know Nolan.
Thank you, pretty girl.
They know he did not have one hateful thing in his heart. Mm. And racism No. That was a shock. That was a complete shock from his mom and from his stepdad. Like, that's a shock. That's an utter shock, because it's like, first off, I don't know how to word this. Nolan wasn't fully black. Nolan's mixed.
Y'all, what the hell does this have to do with anything? Okay. All right, what the hell does this have to do with anything? This is terrible, y'all. I'm sorry. Charleston, thank you. Y'all, listen. Y'all, we got 3 more gifts left in the gift gallery, y'all. Let's go ahead and knock that out. Okay, I just need 3 people to do that. We got the party on and on, the lion, and also the Zeus. If you want to find out where to find it, hit Great Vibes on 10 at the top. You're going to see the A-League gift gallery. It's 3 left, all right? Y'all a trip. Y'all are a trip. Hold on, who you think doing that? Who y'all think is making this about the race card? They're trying to play this race game. Who's interviewing him? You heard, again, you see what Tatum is trying to do. You're trying to pin rugs on Nolan. You made it very clear Nolan wasn't nowhere near these boys after they left the island, and now you're trying to pin rugs on him, saying he allegedly probably had rugs in his system. Thank you, Randy.
Mixed. Nolan has a little bit of Asian in him. You don't hear that, though. You don't. So to turn it as like somebody's harping down on Nolan because of the color of his skin.
Great vibe. Brand new. He's got a setup for whatever he'll do.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I forgot to have my mic muted. But this is the 5th day in a row. Don't nobody request to come up. The pound is not open. This is the 5th day in a row y'all got to 1 million taps. The 5th fucking day in a row. Y'all should be proud of yourselves. Y'all did that, not me. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, y'all. Y'all did that. Day number 5. 1 million taps, y'all. Y'all should be proud of yourselves. Thank y'all so much. 5 days in a row, y'all got this platform to 1 million taps. I don't know any other platform on TikTok that has done them numbers like that. No other. All right. But again, thank y'all so much for y'all love with Tiffany, Girl Code. I am poor. I mean, I am Speak. Thank y'all so much. Andy, thank you so much. Princess, thank you. Thank you.
You don't know us. You don't know our community. It's crazy that people are just running with a lie.
Princess, thank you.
And it's so easy for people to believe it from the outside, looking into Mississippi's history, per se. But it's like, you're looking at history. Let's go to each state's history.
What the hell they got to do in the damn thing?
They're not the best with black people. Like, people change. You learn history so you don't repeat it. Everybody knows that.
What's the craziest lie that you've seen floating around there about this situation?
Wow.
I know there's a lot of mysterious things, but like, to you, what's the craziest thing that you've heard somebody say about this?
Wow.
That my buddy in the photo was his lover. That was wild. That's been the utmost craziest, because it's like, what? Like, where'd you get that from?
Wow.
I mean, also the lies of just how racist Mississippi is, or how racist the coast is.
What the hell this got to do with
Ocean
Nolan?
Springs?
What this got to do with have to do with
Yeah,
Nolan?
no.
What does this have to do
You
with
don't
Nolan?
you don't know this, man. Like, you have no idea. And what I thought was crazy lie from the beginning was he's the only black person on the boat. He's the only black person on the island.
The hell this got to do with the
No, not at all.
this shit?
Like,
Right? Come on, what this got to
not
do with Nolan?
once. Like, where'd you get this background information from?
Man, come on, man.
How many people are on that island from your vantage point?
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Thousands? 13 miles? Like, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of boats that are carrying.
B Genie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gold mine. Thank you. Thank you. 1,000 coins. Thank you. Princess, thank you. Marcella, thank you. Listen. Okay, let's make this shit make sense. Listen, y'all. Tell me which one sound like it could have happened. All right? And everything I'm about to say is allegedly. You got, according to his statement, it's thousands of people on this island. Thousands hanging out. And from what I was told, a lot of people was hanging more so towards the west side of the island. Okay? The west side. All right. Now, hold on 1 second, Gina. Was hanging out towards the west side. All right. And then you had, and then, throughout the middle too, and then also on the southwestern side, filtered throughout the middle. Okay. Now, listen to this. Y'all listen to this. If Nolan was left behind, with this unknown girl, all of a sudden his body, they had to go recover his body. He ended up unalived. Out of all these thousands of people, nobody saw nothing. Okay? All these people here, nobody saw anything. All right? That's one. Now let's go to the second scenario. All right? Second scenario. You got 3 boats. They go out there. They drinking, all this stuff. This fight break out. They're under the influence, allegedly. This fight break out. Then all of a sudden, they rushing to get off this island. All 3 boats. Rushing to get the fuck out of there. Again, why? What was the urgency for the dam to leave that island so quick? Who was this person y'all was fighting? And why did y'all have to leave so quickly? All 3 boats. 2 boats, and then the one that was sinking. I'm telling y'all, something isn't adding up here.
Minimum 4 to 8, 9 people. Like, I'm talking like on the lower end, man. We're talking about smaller vessels here. Man, if I had to take a rough estimate in my area of the island that I was in.
Okay, listen. What I just said, this is what they said, Miss Vetty, and this is out of respect. What I just said, they said this. I didn't make nothing. Y'all, did I make that up? Did they say this or Great Vibe said? Oh, okay, not to y'all finna say. Like, Vetty, I didn't say it. They said it. Like, don't go. They said it. Thank y'all for the hats and stuff. Cause now Vetty finna go off on me. She finna send me a long DM cussing me out. I'll read it and I'll humble up.
400, 500 people easy. If I'm taking a an actual estimate, about 400 to 500.
That's what we trying to figure out, Duck. You asked, was Nolan fighting? Who was this unnamed person that y'all was fighting? Because what amazes me, what I find questionable, that y'all knew exactly what time y'all last laid eyes on Nolan. Who was this person y'all was fighting? And y'all had to get the hell off this island. Y'all hauled ass out of there. Why? They didn't have shit to do with no damn fight. Why? Hey, man, get back on the boat and cool off, man. Cool off. It ain't even worth it, man. Just get back on the boat. Hey, relax. Hey, man, hey, walk that shit off. You go sit on the boat, man. You go walk down that way on the other side of the island, man. Walk that shit off. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Y'all see where I'm going with this? Hey, y'all need to walk this shit off. Walk it off. Men, that's what we do. Walk it off. Rushing and getting the hell out of there. Okay.
100 people, easy. In our group, in the group of, I would say, young adults that were in the group of Nolan Wells, 100, 150, 200 people.
So the idea that Nolan went out with 4 white boys and they took him to a deserted island and he was allegedly last seen with a girl and they just abandoned him. What do you say to that?
No. From the time they left, including myself, and also when I left the island, I could have named 50 people I really trust behind the helm of a boat that Nolan knew, that he could go talk to. Even if he was left, there was tons and tons of people out there. There was 10 boats that camped out at Horn Island. I know a boat that didn't leave Horn Island until 8 o'clock that night.
Can I apply for a loan with poor credit? Actually, yeah, you can. Just
you
apply
take
for
your
a
ass
personal
over
loan
there.
through this
Don't
site
nobody
right here.
care.
There's
You
no
do
need
it.
to go to a bank.
Don't nobody
What's great
care.
is there's no one.
Don't nobody give a damn. You do it.
Nobody would have ever seen, I'll take that back. Nobody would have ever left somebody on Horn Island. That's a place of everybody loves to go and hang out.
Yeah.
That's their peace. Nobody wants to see anybody out there, especially in the boating community. And I can speak on that, like, genuinely. I grew up in it.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
So can you help me understand the fight a little better?
Yeah.
Because I interviewed Warren, who's your friend, and he had made mention that his brother was involved in the fight. So can you explain who actually started fighting, and were you fighting his brother or were you fighting somebody else? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, and I can see now, especially, it's all been blown out of proportion. But so originally, I'll go back a couple steps. Me and my girlfriend, I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. Generally speaking, that's how it started. And I dropped her new koozie in the water. And so she started to let me hear it and basically told me I was paying for it. And she was really upset with me and mad about it. And I needed to kind of sober up a little bit. And so we're walking back, and during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him. I don't know him. I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He had butted himself into my conversation and basically was telling me how I needed to handle or address the situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she had ducked her head underwater, and he had walked up, and he told me that I needed to watch how I talked to my girlfriend. And I looked at him, and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there, and he was like, well, I'm going to tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him, and I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation. And after I came out, he swung.
Hold on, y'all. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but I am. I'm listening. All right. I gotta switch back over headphones. I thought these headphones was charged, and it's not. It's not charged. It just said battery low. I thought they were charging. Yeah, hold on, y'all. Y'all calm the hell down. Damn, y'all be doing too much. Let me make sure this the right one. Yeah.
He threw the first punch. And
hold on. Let's get
we went back and forth.
Wait.
The situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she had ducked her head underwater, and he had walked up, and he told me that I needed to watch how I talked to my girlfriend. And I looked at him, and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there, and he was like, well, I'm going to tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him, and I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation. And after I came out, he swung. He threw the first punch. And we went back and forth. I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle, and my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got in the boat, I'm sorry. And I listened to my uncle.
And what was Warren's brother involvement in this?
And so I was getting there. So when I'm on the boat and they're trying to cool me down, I'm trying to get back off the boat because I see the crowd forming up on the island. Well, my little brother and Carter are like really good friends, like best friends, I would say. He's over at our house all the time. Carter heard him still talking crap as he's getting out of the water, and I'm on the boat, and the situation is done and over with, right? Well, he sees him talking crap, so Carter gets up, and more along the lines of defending me. And for what? He was like, well, if you got a problem with Tristan, we can handle it right here.
So what's the racial breakup of these people that are involved? So the guy that you fought was
white. I'm the only black guy involved in this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And at all, like.
Keep my mouth shut. Wow.
I mean, I don't know. Carter is white. The dude I got in a fight with is white.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, I'm not saying yay or nay. I see what's going on. It's right here. It's right here now. It's in our face. But I still don't have enough evidence to prove my theory. And I'm not going to tell y'all my theory until more information come out. But listening to this right here, I smell bullshit. I smell bullshit.
I was the only black guy involved with this. My girlfriend's white. My uncle's white. There was no other black guy involved. And I know Ben Crump tried to run with a story saying that was Nolan. Well, it was like, nice try, but there was another black guy on the island, so now your whole narrative needs to change again.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that was Carter's involvement, and that was kind of it.
You,
like
Gina. Thank
after
you,
the
Sparkle.
fight, man, I remember getting off the boat. I got off the boat and I walked up to the island. And I was telling people, I was like, hey, like I just need to cool off. Like, let me be. This is after everything is dispersed. There was no crowd anymore when I walked off the boat. And I was like, I'm letting me be. Well, again, my uncle yelled at me and I was like, I don't care what you're doing. Get back on the boat. We're leaving. So I got back on the boat and we left shortly after that.
And well, at least I know you from the interviews that you've done. Some of the other boys haven't spoken out at all.
Yeah.
You've had a chance to use your voice to put the truth out there. You did an interview with, I think, ABC, and you also did an interview with the Rolling Stones.
That was my first interview, yeah, with Rolling Stone.
The first interview was Rolling Stones, then ABC?
And then ABC, yes.
Now, from what you told me before this interview is that the Rolling Stones gave you a very fair interview. It seemed like the young lady who interviewed you articulated very clearly what you told her with no fluff, no nothing added.
And she cared. She really did care. And she made sure that what she was telling was the complete truth behind everything with me, with my uncle, and then also fact checking on her side as being in media. And it all aligned, man. And when they came out with that, it was really genuine. When I felt that, it brought me to tears because it was like, that's the truth. That's exactly how it needed to be worded. And I appreciated her. I appreciated her a lot. And we took her out to Horn Island this morning to do another little bit. But she's done well, and that's the truth. Her story is nothing but the truth.
Now, ABC, on the other hand, did they treat you fairly, or how did that go?
So, I don't want to say they treated me unfairly.
Listen, y'all, I'm vaping. That's why my camera is off. Listen here. So Officer Tatum is more worried about these boys' feelings, right? And also to push the narrative that they were nowhere near Nolan.
Put your mouth around it. Put your mouth around it.
Thank you, Keek. Thank you, Candy Cane. You so silly. You so silly. Tatum's job was to protect these young men, not being anywhere near Nolan, not being alleging that Nolan was left behind after they left. But again, I still have questions about this fight because who is this unknown male? Who is this unknown person? That's the question I have. Who is this person that approached you, that told you, hey man, don't be talking to her like that? Who is this person? Let me get on camera. Hold on. Let me get on camera. I'm about to post what somebody said. So y'all, is this if you've been here the whole time, is this true? Yes or no? If you've been here the whole time, just put a yes or no in the comment. If you're new, go ahead and hit that follow button. But if you're new, the only thing you have to do is ask questions. We don't push out false information over here. Just ask questions. That's why I put the man's name. Do you see the man's name in the thumbnail? See, some of y'all see you come in here and say shit. Did you go on Google and put that man's name in? Why you think I got the judge up there? Thank you, Mindy. Put his name into Google. You're going to see the news report along with the judge. I know it's so, oh my goodness. It's so hard for people to do their own research. Yeah, and the FBI. Just do your research. The name is right there. Again, thank y'all. They ain't lazy. They ain't lazy. You know, again, people, they come to certain content creators looking for information. Because a lot of people, they don't like to read. They don't like to research. But don't assume, okay? Don't assume. Just ask. Ask somebody in the chat. Hey, who's arrested? Read the prompt. And again, my prompt is wrong. It was 2 people that was arrested in 2 different states. Allegedly.
Fairly. The quotes that he used in the article, he did ask me for my permission on it. And I gave it to him to an extent. I changed up some stuff and that he initially didn't change when he came out with it. And then the voice recording, that's really what gets me, because that's what the main people are listening to, right? They're not going in and reading in depth in the article and really seeing everything. They're just going off about what's on TV, because people don't like to read these days.
What's your feelings got?
But
why he's worried about your feelings?
How they made that and cut a lot of my voice sounded horrible.
This shit is crazy, man.
Sounded bad. I didn't like it.
This crazy.
I didn't like that side of it, but it already aired, so what was I gonna do? Really?
And at one point, I could have sworn you said that you didn't feel comfortable doing the interview on camera.
Yes.
And did you do that because you didn't want to be visibly promoted on television, or what? How did that?
So the side of that, and I didn't want to be on camera for 2 main reasons. I never wanted to do an interview and get famous. I never wanted any.
Thank you, Mindy.
Attention, per se, famous attention.
James, that's real talk.
I don't care about the negative side of it. I'm doing what I think is right. I never wanted any positive attention, let's say. All I wanted to be is for my guys to know that I had their back and I got Nolan's back. And I didn't want the investigation especially on social media side, I guess, and with Ben Crump and their legal team, to go down the wrong path at all. That was my sole purpose, is to tell the truth and to clear up lies. When I talked to ABC, they wanted to do an in-person interview, and I told them no. I told them no because I'm getting death threats. and I don't like him. It is what it is. I'm not putting myself out there any more than I need to. And I'm not sitting behind a camera and so for somebody to watch me talk about my best friend. And I told him, I was like, if you want to do an article, it's okay. I'll talk and you can do the article on that side of it. I never originally wanted to go on TV, period. He convinced me into only using my voice, which now I regret, and I wish I would have just sat in front of a camera so you can visibly see the cuts. But they manipulated that interview pretty well. They made it sound a lot worse. And I know for a fact, most of that interview, you can't understand me because I was in tears the entire time talking about it. When he asked me about Nolan's death.
Kayla, thank you for dropping that in the chat. I was waiting for somebody to say that. You can see it. Again, who is this unknown guy that you, Warren, his brother, got into a fight with? And after the fight, y'all hauled ass off the island. Who is this person?
And he put it if you listen to it carefully, he cuts it and I just say die. Nobody wants to see him die. I don't talk like that, man. That's not what I said. I did say die during at one point in our interview, but I said we didn't want to see his life being taken from us, period. They didn't put that. They twisted some things around and they almost made a different narrative to where it's like, now people are coming out and lying. And it's like, man, no.
Yeah,
and
I was wondering if you were gonna, I remember I was like, I could have sworn he said he didn't want to be on camera and they put your picture all over the news. I mean, how did you feel about that? Was that something that you were okay with them doing that, or?
I kind of accepted it. I accepted it because I gave Rolling Stone permission to do it. So I know that's where they probably got that original photo of me and him standing next to each other.
But still, that's kind of weird that you tell them, oh, I don't want to, even if you gave you the permission to Rolling Stones, you go, I don't want to be on camera. And they put your picture up there on camera anyway.
I agree. It is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's odd, but generally speaking, man, like, I'm worried about my family's safety, but I have no regrets in what I've done and what I've said. Not one. I sleep better at night now that I've spoken up and I felt like I've done my part of the good and I'm willing to help any other time if anything else pops up that I can't help with. And I genuinely just want the truth to be heard about it all. And it kills me and it breaks my heart that my best friends are going through this. Like, this is at home. This isn't something I'm just watching through a screen, listening to you talk about it or listening to somebody else talk about it. I'm living this. I'm getting the calls from my buddies crying, asking me how I'm not scared out of my mind. How am I okay dealing with all this?
I can make a burr. It'll take about a week, or I can get one from Granger overnight if I need it.
Listen, if you're enjoying the live stream so far, put a 1 in the chat. And again, I know I'm not doing much talking tonight because we got a lot, we're covering a lot of material. But if you're enjoying the live stream so far, put a 1 in the chat. Damn, look like every damn body. If you don't like it, you can put a 2. It's all right. I'll do better. You said Amber, I know your ass crashed out. But y'all got to give it to me. I haven't crashed out yet. Y'all got to give me that. Listen, I just need 3 people to get into that gift gallery. We got a Party On and On, a Lion, and a Zeus. Those the last 3 gift we got to do in the gift gallery. Also, y'all, we got 17 out of 20 on the live gift goal. Just need 3 people to do that. Again, thank y'all so much. We at 1.2 million taps, y'all. 1.2 million taps. Y'all are fucking amazing. Ghost, I see you. Pork Chop, thank you for the 23 votes. Appreciate it. You say you've been crashing out. I know. Y'all got to give it to me. I haven't crashed out yet, but it's coming. Fran, Kim, and also Marsh, thank y'all so much for hitting that live. Daphne, thank you. And it's achieved. Thank y'all. Ooh, thank y'all so much for knocking out that live gift. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much.
So one thing that kind of stood out to me, there was a big contradiction on television, was you said in your interview that you were really, really good friends with Nolan, his best friend. Nolan's mother said on television that as if she don't even know you and she don't know who you are, and you're definitely not, at least is what she alluded to, you're definitely not his best friend. So what's the truth in that? And how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So yeah, so she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends. And she's not wrong. Bro. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in 9th grade. I met Nolan in 9th grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview.
Kayla, I know.
Nolan was my best friend though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend. No, me and her never had a sit down in depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just got. Has gotten left at her house for 2 days. And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos as our whole friend group. Me and Nolan are standing next to each other. You don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells. My last name at one point in time was Walker. We were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated. Man, that's mind-boggling. It's insane. Me and Nolan have multiple classes together. Me and Nolan has always stayed tight. Nolan has always known that he could call me whatever. And like I've mentioned, like I got a new phone number 2 months ago. Nolan was the only friend that had my phone number out of the friend group, and I still call them my best friends. But we communicate on other social medias. But it's like Nolan called me on the day to meet up with me on the 4th out there. But we weren't good friends. We weren't close friends. And when I say best friend, man, I don't want to take away anybody how close they were to Nolan. But when I think of a best friend, I think of Nolan. Somebody I can call, somebody that I've stayed up and I've cried to.
Thank you, Native Wales. Thank you.
That was one of my best friends.
Nativia, thank you.
Speaking. She might not think it. That's okay. Me and Nolan knows where we stand with each other. And period. And Nolan knows that.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. With interviewing with me, right? We came out here to Mississippi. We just wanted to give the boys a voice, give you guys a voice. And out of, I'd say, all the other outlets that you could have spoken to, why do you feel that you...
Wow. Y'all see this bullshit? That's the same question he asked Warren. Same question. Same fucking question, y'all. Again, I peeped this shit when I first listened to this. I peeped it out. I peeped what he was doing. I seen this shit coming from a mile away.
You wanted to talk to me tonight?
Honestly, I'm a big fan. I know when I look at news articles, big news articles, obviously, and then I know you talk on them, I make sure I go I watch the full thread of videos. I think our morals align alike. And when we spoke off camera, like it didn't seem like you were out here like another news reporter that just wanted the next big story. Like you just said, it's like you genuinely wanted us to have a platform to be able to speak and to be able to tell the truth. And that's what I like. And I know I don't know, talking to Warren and knowing Miss Katie and being close to them and them trusting you was like, okay, I can sit down, I can have this conversation, and we can go through it, and we can have the interview on camera, and people can see me, really, I guess you could say, and talk about it and whatnot.
I appreciate that. I really do. And my last question, you know, with all this stuff going on, and you knew Nolan very well, what do you think how Nolan would feel about how this all has transpired with Benjamin Crump,
Oh my goodness.
with, you know, the statements from his mom, with the accusations against you and his other friends?
Wow.
You know, how would you think he would address this or feel about this?
Well, I know people like these would they would turn over in his grave. If Nolan could dig himself out of his grave right now, he would.
Wow.
No doubt. Nolan would be livid is an understatement. Nolan would never want anything pursued this way at all.
I know Jeannie.
I think he would be really upset with his parents about how they went about the situation.
Wow. Wow.
I think he genuinely would. I don't think he wouldn't support it. I know that for 110%. I know he wouldn't support any of it.
Wow.
I think he would want the truth and he would search for answers, but he wouldn't go about it like this. He wouldn't let us get dogged out like this. If no one could have spoke up, he would have already said something about our friend group and saying, yo, y'all are on the wrong path. Generally speaking, he would be mad. Like, he would be mad.
This is crazy. Y'all.
And I don't understand how people don't see that and how people are just okay with even some of his, I guess you could say, other best friends, man, how they were coming out and how they're acting behind it. It's like, man, Nolan was never like that. Nolan was an aggressive, threatening person. Don't get me wrong, Nolan would defend himself if he needed to defend himself. Nolan was loving and kind. Nolan was the furthest thing from a fight. Like, furthest thing from a fight. And I remember personally, I was in a heated argument and Nolan comes up, crack a joke, and I'm like, bro, it's not even worth it. Like, come on. And it's like, that just shows his character wouldn't be like this. I know he wouldn't want people chanting at his funeral. I know that for a fact. I know nobody would want me or the rest of our friends to get dragged through like this. I know he would want all of us to feel comfortable going to that funeral, and all of us didn't because we're scared. And that says a lot. That says a lot. We're scared to go in our own town to who we called our best friend. We're all over his socials, man. Like, I don't know how you're discrediting and thinking that we could have hurt him. We could have known somebody that hurt him. Because like I told everybody, I would put myself in whatever position he was in 100 times before I let him pass away. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. That dude, he was so loving and so kind. It was just wild. It's crazy. It's wild and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having the courage, man, to come down here and talk to us, give us, your point of view. And I say this, like I said to Warren, man, my whole objective is that, man, I was watching an injustice happen before my eyes. And an injustice meaning that the other side wasn't presented. And people that don't live here came into this town and shook it up, brought racism in it. And based on everybody's statement that I hear about Nolan, is that they didn't represent what he stood for.
No.
And they bastardized his character, in my opinion, this is my opinion, to make money and build a GoFundMe instead of trying to actually get to the bottom of what happened to him. In none of this have I seen any of the activists pursue what actually happened. Somebody could have seen something, and instead they're going after dead ends simply because of race, simply because of convenience. instead of pursuing any other lead or any other notion of somebody knowing what happened to Nolan. So I thank you for coming out here, man. It took a lot of courage putting your face out there, putting your name out there, putting the statements out there. Some people are going to be mad at you. But I'll tell you, like I told Warren and all the other boys, is that I got your back, man. You tell them the truth.
I appreciate that.
You being a good man, doing what's right. I got your back, man. And I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
I told y'all, Tatum's job was to go down there to get on these boys' side and to clear their name. No matter what, I got your back. And again, I'm not saying, listen to me, I'm not saying that them boys are guilty of anything. I want to make sure that's clear. But you're supposed to be a investigative journalist going to, you want to get to the bottom of this just like a lot of us. But to tell somebody in an open investigation where somebody lost their life, hey, I got your back because I know y'all didn't have nothing to do with Nolan's death. Even though all y'all rode together, y'all know each other, I'm going to clear y'all names. That's crazy work. That is crazy work. Now, let's go back to this, just in case some of y'all missed it. Okay? Just in case some of y'all missed it. And I'm gonna let this one play. I'm gonna let this one play through, okay?
What I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first. And then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Now, again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But from the sources that I'm getting it from has been consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and hadn't been wrong about nothing. So there's a possibility that there's a person that Nolan may have been around or interacted with that is giving cocaine to people on this island, that Nolan may have taken the cocaine. And then also, I received a DM from someone DMing another person. Now, I'm trying to leave these names out because I want to not mess this investigation up. I think law enforcement already have this. That alluded to the fact that, and I messaged this person because I want to talk directly to the person that I saw the DM from. And we haven't talked to this person yet. But the person said in the DM to another kid that is associated, not any of the kids that I interviewed to talk to, but that could be associated to some degree, that knew Nolan, that this person wrote a message saying, me and my husband saw you arguing with Nolan, and to the effect of you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Now, the person did not say they saw a physical altercation. The person did not say what time they saw Nolan and this other person getting into an argument. Now, this is after Warren, their boat left. This may be somewhere around a little bit before 6, right around 6 or a little bit before 6 p.m. Now, according to the autopsy, which I interviewed a medical examiner about this, there is no evidence of blunt force trauma or an evidence that Nolan got into a physical altercation. So I'm putting all this stuff together, what people are sending me and all that, and I'm trying to find a neutral point to share with you. What I'm thinking at this point, with all that has been said, is that somebody knows exactly what happened to Nolan, or they saw him right before he died. I am not convinced that Nolan was just out there and drowned. It could be. That could have happened. But I'm more convinced now than ever based on what people have been telling me and DMs that I've been seeing, people that have been verified sources, that has to be something with this cocaine.
Verified.
There has to be something with Nolan and a girl. And there has to be something with Nolan potentially being in either altercation with somebody, which would lead me to believe that that person saw Nolan last. And that this other person that's giving people cocaine. So this person giving people cocaine, a girl, Nolan, and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated. And I can say more, but I'm trying not to get anything messed up in this case because I want justice for Nolan and I want the boys that weren't involved in this to not get caught up in stupidity. So just so you guys know, I know the names of the cocaine person. I believe I know who the girl is. And I know the name of the person that may have been in the argument with Nolan. And there's nothing conclusive that anybody's telling me where there was violence that occurred. But that does not mean that the violence is ruled out. That does not mean that something could have happened in the water. Another report came to me of someone saying that they saw Nolan with a girl, being intimate in the water to the point where it caught their attention. And they believed that they saw Nolan and this girl struggling in the water, not necessarily drowning, but struggling. Like it was obvious enough that the person was concerned when they saw Nolan in the water and he was with this girl. And that the person explicitly said that they were being intimate, which I don't know what that means as far as just kissing, hugging, cuddling, or something else. But that's what has been told to me. And these sources I think, have been legitimized. But what they're saying, I haven't been able to verify. This is just someone saying this, and I'm telling you what I'm hearing. So when the toxicology come back, if there's cocaine in the system, to me, that will validate that these people that have been telling me this are being accurate. And like I said, somebody really close to Nolan made mention that they're almost 100% sure that he may have been partaking in the use of cocaine. And it's unfortunate. I've been knowing this, at least that part, for a while now, but I didn't want to put his name out there like that, given the fact that he just lost his life. But now that we're getting more information, the investigation is going further along, I'm just putting it out there. And we shall see if what is being told is accurate. But I'll finish it with this. I'm leaning more towards believing that somebody directly saw Nolan and know how Nolan died. That's my take on it. I don't think he was just drowning out there messing around. I think that somebody know more than what they're saying. And I don't think it's a lot of people. I think it's a few people that were last on the island with Nolan that know what happened, that seen what happened, or may have knowledge of something that will lead police in the right direction to find out exactly what happened. And I am encouraging you. I know some of y'all names. If it's you, you need to do the right thing. You need to go to authorities And if you're there and you had nothing to do with it, you definitely need to go to authorities and clear your name. I'll say this: some of these people may have already gone to authorities. I don't know. The authorities won't tell me who they interviewed. So we'll go to that next step when it comes. I want to address Judge Mathis real quick. I got about 9 minutes.
I see right now some of y'all look pissed in the comments. Y'all pissed. It's a lot of y'all I'm talking about y'all hot. Pretty girl, thank you for the rose, and also thank you so much for the dolphin.
I figured it out.
Now, we're going to break this down tomorrow, okay? Before we move forward. What I'm about to show y'all, we played it the other day. We're going to break this down tomorrow, okay? Because we have the report. We have the full report. We're going to break this down tomorrow. So remember, y'all, when we go live tomorrow, have your pen, paper, and be ready to take some notes. Check this out. We're going to fact check this together on this live. All right. Let me see if I can. All right.
Figured out the Nolan Wells timeline. I know how they messed with the GPS. I figured it all out. I figured out the lies that are based in truth. I figured it all out, and I've got proof. But stick with me because it's going to be a long video, y'all. Now, I found a 15-page Marine Patrol report that had lots of little details that prove that the boys had been lying. So I've already shown how at 1:30 in the morning, the initial Lieutenant Odom with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office said that his deputies spoke with several of the friends who traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan. And they said that he left in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain on the island.
So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police? Or
Yeah, so the first time I talked to police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator, and I told him my whole story top to bottom. Dot every I, crossed every T. I told him everything I knew, every little detail.
Well, that's a lie now, isn't it, Warren? Because you talked to them at 1:30 in the morning that night. I mean, did you just forget to tell the cops about Katie? Because it's not like you didn't know it was her or you didn't know how to get in contact with her.
the girl that he was with, Katie, had texted somebody that she heard people yelling.
Correct.
Nolan yelling. Is
Yeah,
that
and I
true?
have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking. Everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this last time I saw him, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat.
But Katie says that she assumed that she went on the boat after y'all were yelling at him. And let's not forget that the last time you saw him was 3.
Well, the last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms.
And yet for some reason around noon, the name of another girl who hadn't even seen Nolan in a year was given to the patrol to go interview, saying that she was with that group, not Katie. They also gave the name of a couple of other friends who they weren't able to get in contact with. And despite having a picture of a text message from Katie, funny how you didn't share that with Officer Tatum. Probably could have cleared up some stuff real quick, right? Now let's get to the data. Now, at about 1:30 on July 5th, they were doing a flight of drones based on the relation of the last known anchor position of the Atkinson vessel, which I have documented right here. 4:30, Officer Strickland contacted Jennifer Pyrone, who was Wyatt's mother, who told them that he had already spoken to officers earlier in that day, but they were happy to cooperate with any investigation. And she let this officer take a picture of the GPS. Officer Strickland observed the track line showing Pyrone's vessel location on Horn Island, then gave coordinates. I'm going to need you to remember this exact phrasing. It's going to be important later on. Now, this was the GPS coordinates from the picture that the officer took, meaning that these coordinates had to be a different one that was verbally given over the phone. by Wyatt. And you'll notice they're quite different. Now you'll notice that this incident report says the involved entities are Bart Edmington and Jerry Adkerson, not Wyatt. Even though Wyatt is 18, he should be on this report. And you could argue that they were just giving the names of the people that owned the boats, but somehow I doubt that 21-year-old Bart owns that boat. You'll notice on this report that 2 different pieces of GPS evidence were collected. So now we're going to go to the July 8th report where they came and they took those GPS coordinates from both the Adkerson boat and Bart's boat. Yellow is Bart, blue is the grandfather Jerry. You know, the same Jerry that called and canceled the sea tow as the sea tow phone call was being made. Now, mind you, this is 3 days after the police had come and spoken to the mother and gotten the GPS coordinates. Now, Bart had a germane GPS map chart plotter. Jerry's boat also contained a germane GPS map chart plotter. Now, I had to look up the difference between waypoints, tracks, and routes. So waypoints mark specific spots. Routes connect them in a planned order, and tracks record your actual path. Now, according to that GPS data, there is no movement from 11 to 4:30, but we know that that's not true. Warren has never been able to logically explain how they ended up so far away from the shore. Because according to him, he said at 3 o'clock, that was the last time he saw Nolan, Bart was trying to yell at him to get on the boat. His brother got into a fight, so he got his brother to come over there. That's when he saw that it was all sinking, because he said this.
There's a lot of people on, so it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours. The boat just started filling up with water. So
Listen, y'all, before we continue, again, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here on tonight. It's a pleasure that y'all decide to come through here and spend time with your boy GV as we still trying to get to the bottom of this, right? And y'all see we're listening to a lot of different angles, all right? So again, if you see the follow button at the top of your screen, please click that follow button. Same thing with YouTube and also Rumble and also Twitch. Y'all do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right. Yeah, I know I threw a lot at y'all tonight. I know I gotta do this, but and again, thank y'all so much for sharing out the live stream too. Appreciate it.
side hatch and the battery was completely underwater.
Yes, but according to Warren, he had just seen Nolan, like, neck deep, cradling a girl at the boat next to them. So how did they end up in 31 feet of water at the 4 o'clock call? There's an hour in between that. If the battery is submerged, how would they even get away from the sandbar? You can see in the background of this picture, they are far away from people. And yet this GPS is saying that you were stationary the whole time. But why? Especially because we have actual fucking proof right here. We have the coordinates that Wyatt's mom gave them the second time, and the cop took a picture of the GPS. Compare it to the GPS coordinates in which they were trying to get a tow from. But what if I were to tell you that not only does a waypoint need to be physically saved on this exact type of GPS, you have to intentionally say, mark this spot, or else it doesn't automatically save. It records your tracks automatically, but those are just saved coordinates. And it turns out you can actually delete tracks. It's super easy. You just go into the main menu and you delete it off of your data. So why is this GPS data, which is right here, so much further away than what the GPS says it is later? There's no data included in that GPS report that explains them going from here to here, unless someone went in and deleted those tracks. Because they probably dropped that waypoint once they anchored, which would explain why Warren said they showed up at 10:30 and the GPS says that they showed up after 11. And so then it wasn't until half an hour after the canceled tow that they dropped another waypoint. And mind you, the exact same GPS was used in both boats, and Wyatt/Jerry's boat has the tracks and routes where Bart's does not. And again, it tracks it automatically. So you have to intentionally delete those tracks. And why did they do that? Well, it turns out Jerry Atkinson just so happens to be the owner of Ocean Marine Group in Ocean Springs and Gulfport, which is literally a boat dealer. So guess who's gonna know that information? We already know Grandpa Jerry was in the mix because the only way that he could have canceled the sea tow before it even started to head out is if Wyatt had called Jerry first and Jerry told him to call for a sea tow and then canceled it for him, which would explain why he couldn't give any descriptions of where the water was, how high was it. We know that the sea tow did not bring in the boat. In fact, Bart's mother came on Facebook and said that there are pictures from my son's boat of the boat about to be towed, which is clearly who is about ready to tow them here as Wyatt is on the phone. I can tell you 100% that this is not a sinking boat. You can see Bart bringing them in this picture. But Bart was supposedly the one yelling at Nolan to get on the boat, remember? Why would he be yelling at Nolan to get on a boat that's sinking? Unless he was telling Nolan to get on his boat. And Warren accidentally explained what really happened with the engine. Whatever happened with Nolan happened on Bart's boat, allegedly, which is why all of Bart's information was deleted. So here's what happened. Both this one and this one confirmed that there was a fight that broke out on the beach. Started out with him, ended up with Warren's little brother. His uncle says, we gotta go. They hop on a boat and they leave. He grabs his drunk younger brother and says, we're getting out of here too. 3 o'clock. This whole caravan is trying to get the hell out of there because they're drunk and fighting. Wyatt's boat was in such a hurry that they couldn't figure out how to put the freaking trim down, which caused the motor to overheat, quickly stranded them, and Bart had to come help them. The time that Bart shows up, something has happened between him and Nolan. They're all distracted trying to fix the bilge pump because it didn't trim down. The waves were crashing over the boat and into the bilge pump, short-circuiting it. During this, some people have figured out that Nolan is gone. Other people just think that he's passed out or something, which is why Wyatt calls his grandfather to figure out what the F to do. And as the phone call is being made, more people are figuring out something's wrong with Nolan. That's why they didn't start moving again for 30 minutes. They were coming up with a plan and figuring out how to make it work. I've run out of time, but don't worry, I'm doing a follow-up to this video with more details, more information. And if you like my work, be sure to show your support.
So, tomorrow, what we're going to do, we're going to bring up the report. Okay, we're going to blow it up on the screen, and we're going to walk through the report, right? We're going to hear what she's saying. We're going to go through the report. We're going to have another video. We're going to have a video of Warren talking, breaking this down, time frame, time stamps and everything. We're going to compare it to the report. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, okay? And again, just we want to know what happened. Just very simple. We want to know what happened. So I am not tonight. I am not going to open up the panel because I have things to do. But I will say this right here. If you see a follow button at the top of your screen, you better click that follow button. Also, for everybody that hit their help knock out that live gift goal, man, I really hope that God bless y'all back pockets full of hot nickels. Thank y'all so much. Laura, Queen T, Miss V, Tiffany, Ranny, Gina, and B Gina, all is over 1,000 coins they gave tonight. And you got Candy Cane, Pretty Girl in Cover again, Kiki, Fran, Ghost Case, Charcy. Damn, y'all lit up tonight. Queen Neil, Queen Momo, Nikki, 59 and Fabulous, Kayla, Princess Yvonne, Queens, Daphne, T-Boo, Aisha, Dee, Sarah, Girl Code, Black Goddess, Marsh, Cotton Candy, Marshawn, Sound Mind, Simply, Neat, Sheila, Letty, Big Red, Melanie, Crystal, Trinity, Mara, Lady TT, Suanna Jones, Pac-Man, and the list goes on. Thank y'all so much. And for everybody that tapped the screen, I thank y'all for doing that. The taps, I really appreciate it. We had 1.3 million taps. Damn, 1.3 million. So listen, tomorrow, y'all, let's make sure we knock out the gift gallery, okay, y'all? We only got 3 gifts that's left. YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for supporting the platform. Listen, y'all, moderators, thank y'all so much for holding it down. And everybody, again, thank y'all so much for supporting this platform. Trinity, you sent at 12,000 taps. Queen Momo, you had 11,000. Queen Neil, you had 9,000. Sound Mind, you had 8,000. Thank y'all so much. tomorrow we have a lot of homework to do, right? We got a lot of work to do on tomorrow. All right. So listen, you can find a replay to this live over on YouTube. And also, y'all, remember this right here. You always, under no circumstances, keep God first. This your boy Great Vibes on 10 for the win.
Rub that shiny dome, make a wish, that's a scene. Everybody laughing, what's up, Mr. Clean? They call him a genie, yeah, that's routine. One little rub and you live in the dream. Then out of nowhere, surprise disguise. 2P comes out and the whole room cries. New look loading, what's next today? You never know what he's gonna display. 3 different headphones, always prepared. Different vibes for every moment shared. Music, research, or something brand new. He's got a setup for whatever he'll do. Let the whole world know. Bring that energy everywhere we'll go. Great vibes on 10. Turn it up again. That's the kind of vibe you can't pretend. Great vibes on 10. Say it loud, say it proud. Bring the truth and bring the crowd. From beginning to end, hit that replay, run it again. Questions, always digging deep, looking for answers that others might keep. Not just the headlines, not just the noise. Searching for facts with a curious voice. Kicking the dots, putting pieces in place. Taking the time to examine the case. Facts on the table, questions in sight. Searching for truth from morning to night. Got great researchers helping along the way. Bringing information into the light every day. Doing the work, taking the time. Looking for answers and following the signs. And everybody knows